Good evening and welcome to our pregame show here on BCTV. It's Covenant Healthcare sponsored Jeff Doan and Mike Wisdala with the sights and sounds of pregame down on the field here at John Glenn.
I'll tell you what, Jeff, hard to believe it's week number 3 of high school football. The first 2 weeks just flew by, and we got another fantastic football game here tonight at Bay City John Glenn.
Man, does that mean after tonight the season's 1/3 over, Coach?
Not carry the knot. I think you're exactly right. Third of the season is over. Where has it gone? You know, going back to early August with the preseason schedule and the practices. I'll tell you, Jeff, it just flies by here in week number 3.
Well, we talk about the great excitement and anticipation of the season. A lot of excitement here at John Glenn after winning their first Valley game last week, being right back here in front of their home folks with Arthur Hill here today. Arthur Hill only brings mid-20s for numbers of players, so you got to like the chances of the Bobcats tonight.
Yeah, I really do, Jeff. I think one of the things that when you look at Arthur Hill and Saginaw High, they're very similar in numbers and very similar in the type of players that they have on both squads. So it's going to kind of be a mirror for the Bobcats tonight with Arthur Hill. They're going to see a lot of speed. One of the keys, I think, is not to let the Arthur Hill Lumberjacks outside the ends contain that speed and bring all the blue helmets to make the tackle.
I think you see the defensive ends and the outside linebackers maybe staying an extra step outside to keep that from happening. You definitely want to bring them back to your pursuit. But when you talk about the defense of John Glenn, they're without what some people consider their best defender in Valier. He's a safety. He is the floor general out on the field, and he will make things happen. He'll be sorely missed tonight, but it's an opportunity for somebody else to step up.
Well, you're right. Somebody else who is behind him is going to have to step up, Jeff, and that player is going to get some key moments tonight. And when Valier does come back, he's going to have some key moments that he played down the season. So, there's a silver lining in that situation right there, but he will be definitely missed, but I think the Bobcats will be ready to play.
Coach Warner is excited about the possibilities as they get into the Saginaw Valley League in the preseason special. I said, I'm certain you can compete. He goes, we're not satisfied with competing. We want championships, and I love that mindset.
Well, I think this is a good league for them, Jeff. They won their first Valley game. I think they got a great chance tonight, some exposure in the Valley. They can hang, and this is a good football team. We watched them a year ago. It's hard to believe it was a year and 2 weeks ago that we were here doing our first football game. I like their chances. They can compete, and they're coming out here to win, and they're going to do a very fine job tonight against Arthur Hill.
On offense, they're led by a sophomore that plays like a senior in Joe Long. The confidence and faith they had in him last year to run the offense as a freshman is really going to pay dividends for the next 3 years.
It really is, Jeff. When we saw him last year as a freshman, we were just so impressed with him, and he's just got that demeanor of a quarterback. He's got the huddle. He walks in there, and they're paying attention to him. He's got control, and he's running the show, and that's a big step for a freshman. He's a sophomore, 1 year under his belt. That experience has helped him, and he's only got 2 more years ago, and he's just going to get better.
Well, the beauty of him is he is a multi-threat running and passing quarterback, and for a sophomore to be able to do that and really open up that playbook, Coach, and go on to the multiple pages on the inside.
Well, calm, cool, collected, smart player, knows when to pass, knows when to run, knows when to throw it away, and he's just something that when he's back there leading this team, you could tell that the players have that utmost respect for his ability as a sophomore, and he won that respect last year as a freshman.
Well, it is going to be a lot of fun tonight. We are excited to see what's going to happen. Game time just around the corner. John Glenn Bobcats and the Arthur Hill Lumberjacks right here in the Covenant Healthcare sponsored pregame show on BCTV.
Where did this rash come from?
Hold on, let me see. Could be bed bugs.
Oh. Mom, Grant says I have bed bugs.
Let's see what the doctor says.
Introducing Covenant Virtual Care. Real-time video doctor visits, e-prescriptions, and follow-up. Now extraordinary care comes to you.
See, it's just poison ivy. Smart pants.
Learn more at covenantvirtualcare.com.
Good evening and welcome back to our Covenant Healthcare sponsored pregame show here on BCTV. Jeff Doan and Mike Wisdala along with you. As is our custom every week, we're going to go over the games from last week and keep people up to speed of what's going on here in our Bay County.
All right, Jeff, let's go over week number 2. The Bay City Central Wolves had a really big win against the Midland Dow Chargers in overtime, 22-21.
Season-saving.
Oh,
win.
yeah, that was a big one because of the Frankenmuth game. They're 1-1. Pinconning played a very good Ithaca team, and Ithaca 56, Pinconning 6. Pinconning Spartans are 0-2 on the year. Garber had a real tough game against the Bridgeport Bearcats. Jeff, Bridgeport 26, Garber 24, and they're 1-1 for the year. The game we did here on BCTV, the All Saints Cougars, in the very first 8-man football game in the history of Bay County, 56, Carsonville Port Sanilac 12, evens the Cougars record at 1-1. The Midland High Chemics, they're a machine over in Midland, Jeff, took on the Bay City Western Warriors, beat the Warriors 55-0, making the Warriors 0-2 early in the season. And the Bay City John Glenn Bobcats played the Saginaw High Trojans in their first Valley game ever and won that game 24-14 to even their record at 1-1.
Now, we also had a little volleyball on last week. We were not able to do the championship game. How did that all turn out?
Well, congratulations to the Bay City Western Lady Warriors. They won the county championship this year, 2017, at a tough match. A couple tough matches against the Essexville Garber Duke. So congratulations to all the ladies in the Bay County Volleyball Tournament, Jeff, and a special congratulations to the Bay City Western Warriors for a fine job winning the 2017 championship.
Now, our game tonight with the John Glenn Bobcats, again, coming off a victory, knowing now after 1 week they belong in the Saginaw Valley League, a chance to make it 2 in a row and gain some momentum as they go into the middle third of their season.
Yeah, I like the way John Glenn's handling this, Jeff. They're just going to meet this thing head on. They're going to take on all comers, and they had a big win against Saginaw High, and they're going to see a mirror of Saginaw High tonight when they play Saginaw Arthur Hill. They play very much alike. Speed is the key for both teams from Saginaw, and Arthur Hill is no different than Saginaw High. You cannot let them get outside the ends.
Defensive discipline are the two words that I'm certain that you heard Coach Warner and that crew teach all week long. Stay in your lane, keep your assignment, make sure you do your read. If you can contain this football team, you can beat them.
And one thing you got to do against a team like Saginaw Arthur Hill, Jeff, is you got to, when you wrap up, you got to get a lot of people coming because those kids play hard. They don't stop running, and they're very elusive, and they get away from you, and they can take it to the end zone for a long run. So make sure you get good pursuit to the football, get about 7 or 8 helmets there.
You're looking for a lot of friends around the football. When you make that first hit, you hope company comes quick. Should be a fun game. It's just around the corner. John Glenn and the Saginaw Arthur Hill Lumberjacks in just a moment here on BCTV.
All right, this is Adam. Take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
At this time, we would ask you please rise. Gentlemen, remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Welcome back. Moments before the kickoff of our game tonight. Jeff Stone and Mike Guisdala along with you. Just a little look at the student section calm at the moment, but you know that won't be for long.
Well, it's a big Friday night, Jeff. The first week of school is over. 4 days this week because of the Labor Day holiday. Good crowd on hand here at John Lou Field, looking for a tremendous game tonight between the Arthur Hill Lumberjacks and the John Glenn Bobcats.
Well, John Loop is in the house
He's there
tonight for the game. You just had a sighting, and something exciting happening at halftime is some new people will be introduced into the John Glenn Bobcat Hall of Fame at halftime.
Lots of happenings going on here at John Glenn this week, Jeff. Great night for football. A little breeze coming out of the northeast, just like we had last week. And looking forward to a great Saginaw Valley League contest.
Our friends from MMR here tonight. We hope that they just sit and watch the game and have no other bearing on the outcome. There's a little squib kick, and that goes into just a open area on the field, and it'll come back to about the 27-yard line. At that point, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Saginaw Arthur Hill Lumberjacks, as they have had 2 tough games this year. And Carmen Ainsworth last week took the opening kickoff back for a touchdown and never looked back.
Carmen Ainsworth, Jeff, is a good program athletic-wise. They got good football. They got good basketball. So that's always a tough test for anybody playing for Carmen Ainsworth.
As it'll be a good, true test for the Bobcat defense tonight. They must have contained. They must be disciplined defensively. They've got a lot of girth across the defensive line. Looking at that front as they'll look at a multifaceted 5-man front coming at you from different angles. Right up the middle, to really no real estate that time for the running back from Arthur Hill. And that looked like number 1, Alan Lane, as he will get the lion's share of the rushes tonight for the Arthur Hill Lumberjacks.
Looks like number 59 was in on the tackle for the Bobcats. Hunter Peterson, Jeff, gain of 1 on the play. And again, you know, they're setting up the play, but you make a great point. Do not let these Lumberjacks get outside. You must contain, get it back inside, get to the blue helmets to the football.
There is a gain of a modest yard on the play. 2nd down and 9 yards to go out of the short shotgun. The Arthur Hill Lumberjacks line it up again. A little motion going back into the backfield. Looks like they're going to try and go with a little bit more protection. Will they try and pass here? They are going to try and get it to Lane on the outside, and he doesn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Great contained defensively at first by number 11 from the John Glenn Bobcats, Damian Davis, and he had plenty of help along the play. Number 13 also in on it, Robert Hotelling.
Yeah, they got a lot of hats of the football there, Jeff. Big loss on the play, 3rd down and long for the Lumberjacks, just underway here at John Lou Field on the beautiful campus of Bay City John Glenn.
Boy, just nice to see multiple hats flowing to the football for that John Glenn defense. As a loss on the play of about 4 yards, it'll be 3rd down and 13 yards to go. And if they can get a 3 and out, they'll have field position.
This is what you want to do. You want to put the Lumberjacks in 3rd and long, make them try to pass the ball, Jeff. See what they can do with it.
Single back twins to both sides of the field. Back with a 3-step drop, trying to get rid of it in a hurry. Very good defense. That would have been completed for about a 3-yard pass. That was intended for number 16 on the play. As I'm looking for it, it might have been Trevante Winter. I could not catch that. Again, it takes us a while to get those Lumberjack names. They're alphabetized and not numerical, and that is treacherous on a couple of middle-aged guys.
Guys, you know, alphabet's okay, but numerical's a lot better, especially guys like you and I can't see very well.
Well,
Holy
we'll do what we
cow.
can. 4th and 13 and punt formation from about their own 12-yard line. Again, John Glenn should get excellent field position after this kick. There's a high kick and pressure coming on. Nice job to avoid the contact. Kind of kicked off the side of the foot, and that thing is going to come to rest at the 41-yard line of the Lumberjacks from Saginaw Arthur Hill. And you are looking at about a 23 or 24-yard kick, and that is music to the ears of those folks from John Glenn.
Nice job by the punt receiving team, not roughing the kicker for the Lumberjacks. Great field position for their first possession tonight for the John Glenn Bobcats.
And that's exactly when you lose the toss and you kick. 3 and out with great field position is what you want. We know who the quarterback is, Joe Blong, the sophomore. He's coming back. Look at the time he's got to throw the football. Throws that thing out on time on an out route to number 10 for sure. Leveling. And that was a timing route, and that was just impeccably done and thrown and caught.
Well, great patience by Long to get out there, Jeff, and wait for the receiver to come back for the football, put it to the outside. Nice job by Long. Great catch by Leveling. 1st and 10 for the Bobcats.
Again, they're running trips to the wide side of the field.
Whoops.
They are going to pull Arthur Hill off. This is something that you're going to want to watch for Arthur Hill early on. Knowing that the altered snap count had an effect this early, they will go to a hard count often, seeing if they will go off sound instead of the movement of the ball. You teach, watch the ball,
right?
But kids have good ears.
Well, and you know what, Jeff? If anything you can get, any 5 yards you can get, whether it's a penalty or not, that's a good way to go.
It's a free 5. Ball carried on the play by number 17, Noah DeShano. Noah picks up about 7-8 yards on the play. He's down inside the 20 to about the 17-yard line. And it looks like we have got an Arthur Hill player very slow, and he is not going to get up. And you can see that red leg pounding. He is in some pain right now. And so we'll have an official's timeout on the field. They'll bring both teams over. Normally at this time of the ball game, there is a major need for a hydration specialist. But with the chilliness and that breeze coming off the bay, this is the 3rd week in a row, Coach, that we've had to have long sleeves and sweaters on, and that's not the way it's supposed to be.
We don't normally wear these type of clothes the first 3 weeks, Jeff, but nice job by Noah DeShano. Good vision, nice hole by the offensive lineman, made a nice cut back towards the inside, then back to the outside. Nice gain. They're going to give him a 1st down, Jeff, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bobcats inside, deep inside Arthur Hill territory.
They have not called out yet for the training staff from John Glenn, nor have they signaled to MMR. I really didn't get a chance to see if he got rolled up on in the tackle or what had happened, but the young man is still down. So we'll take a break, and we'll come back in just a minute here on BCTV.
Oh, hey, you got one of those insurance apps too? You know how this thing works?
No, sorry. Ben, please.
Wow, you can talk to your app? That's pretty cool.
Not an app, it's my agent.
In this moment,
No, I'm fine, thanks.
it's good to know you have a trusted, independent auto owner's insurance agent who's there when you need them.
Great. Man, I gotta get one of those.
Auto Owners Insurance.
Plum Harris Insurance Agency in Bay City is your local independent auto owners insurance agency. Here, as you hear the sights and sounds of the game from the press box, Jeff Doan and Mike Wisdala, along with you, that injured player for Arthur Hill is Nehemiah Jones.
That guy's got the best name for a football player, Jeff. Nehemiah Jones.
Boy.
We knew he was going to be a player.
Nehemiah was not a bullfrog. Jeremiah was. 1st and 10 for the John Glenn Bobcats. Joe Blong with a handoff right up the middle again. At the 15, at the 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Noah DeShano is in the end zone. It's a John Glenn Bobcat touchdown. Boy, I'll tell you, takes that thing over the left side. Could have drove a truck through that hole. And he scampers virtually untouched into the end zone for the first 6 of the ball game.
Nice job by the Bobcat offensive line, Jeff. Opened up that big hole. Went right to where number 55 was for the Arthur Hill
Coach, you're taking the words out of my mind.
I'll tell you what, Nehemiah Jones not on the field. They went right after him.
Extra point is up and good. We're on the same page again this week. It should be a fun one. Back in just a moment here on BCTV.
It's another fall Friday night, and your kids should be
playing high school football. It's a fun game, and it's safer than ever.
It's safe because the rules, the coaching, and the equipment are better than ever before.
As a result, serious injuries are at an all-time low. Seriously.
And builds
strong schools, lifetime memories, and tomorrow's community leaders.
And it's mother approved.
It's a great game, and we want to teach it to your kids.
Back here on BCTV, Jeff Doan and Mike Wisdala along with you, Jared and Natalie Doan, both up braving the temperatures on the roof with their camera work, produced and directed by Nick Page. This is just the start that John Glenn wanted, Mike. 3 and out on defense, excellent field position, cash in for a touchdown.
And take advantage of the substitute for the touchdown, Jeff.
There's another kick going in almost the exact same spot and within a yard of where it was brought in to possession by the Arthur Hill Lumberjacks. They'll start off again, this time at about their own 28-yard line, knowing full well what they're going to try and feature offensively. Mike, the formula was perfect. Shut them down on first and second, caused third and long into a passing situation that they didn't look real comfortable in.
Yeah, that was another nice kick there, Jeff, number 17. Montrevion per se was the smart again, just jumping on the ball. That thing takes some funny bounces. First and 10 for the Lumberjack at the Bobcat 29-yard line.
They run a little I-back formation right now as the quarterback is up under center, trying to have a lead blocker make something happen. And I'll tell you what, that lead blocker didn't really find anything too much, as Mason McLean was there to make the hit in a hurry. And the Arthur Hill Lumberjacks may have picked up a gracious yard on the play.
That was a very nice tackle right there, Jeff, by the linebacker. He did a nice job filling the hole. A little bit of a gain for the Lumberjacks, but again, you can see they're getting hats through the football and they're filling the gaps and really breaking down the play at the point of attack.
Well, their front three defensively, their nose and their two tackles are really neutralizing that line of scrimmage, allowing the other 8 players to flow to the football, and they've certainly done that through the first 4 plays defensively in this game. Back out of the shotgun now, single back. They've got twins to both sides of the field. Quick drop. Time to throw the football. They put it out here on the flats, and running around and running backwards is not the normal recipe for success, as there's a clip on top of it. And I would turn down that clipping penalty and make it third down and about 20 yards to go for the first down. That is not something, because you're back there at the 16-yard line where that happened. You're only going to go back to the 8 and give them another down. You tell that young man, you catch that ball in the 30, and you've only got one direction, and that's north.
You got to go towards Wilder and not Kiesel is what they probably got to say to that young man.
He got a little directionally challenged, and he started heading towards Kiesel, and that's not the recipe for success.
That's the wrong way to go. But, again, good patience and discipline by the Bobcats, Jeff. They stayed in their lanes, and nobody got too far to this side of the football field where he could get back around to the far side.
Well, backside had perfect leverage, and then that block in the back, which was very, very wisely turned down. It'll be third down and 19 yards to go for the Arthur Hill Lumberjacks, as, again, they'll be out of the shotgun formation. They're going to run trips to the near side right now. And this is where you need to count on that safety to make sure that he keeps everything in front of him. Here comes the pressure. Quarterback flushed from the pocket, and he is going to find nowhere to go as he'll dip out of bounds. Maybe lucky if he got back to the line of scrimmage. He's going to be about a yard short of the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be fourth down and 21 yards to go. And I would say it's pretty safe to say that the John Glenn defense has made an early statement in this football game.
They've done a nice job, Jeff. Very disciplined, backside and everything, just keeping everybody in front of them, not letting them get outside. They're going to come away again with great field possession on their second possession.
And what they're going to do is they're going to put just enough pressure on this kicker that he's not going to be comfortable back there. And if he gets a good kick off, John Glenn still should be able to catch this ball around midfield and have a chance to make a return. There's a low one, and that one's kicked right straight up in the air, and that one is going to go a huge roll, and that is going to end up being about a 25-yard kick. John Glenn will have almost a mirror of their starting position from their first possession of the game. It'll be first and 10 from the 43-yard line of Arthur Hill, and ouch is all you can say for the tough start for Arthur Hill. Not for lack of effort, but boy, not the result they were looking for to start this game.
This is what the coach from Arthur Hill, Comer, was not looking for, Jeff, against a good quality football team like the John Glenn Bobcats. They don't need to give them anything what they have been giving them so far.
Again, trips to the wide side of the field with a single back. Handoff right up the middle, and that is number 15, Gregory Christie, and he just pounds it forward to the 36-yard line. He just puts his hat down and follows his offensive line, who sled block off the line of scrimmage and moved the defense back 7 yards.
Yeah, in on the tackle, number 4, Malik Foster for the Lumberjacks. But again, boy, I'll tell you what, second down and 3, you get 7 on the first down, Jeff. Open up the old playbook. You can go deep into that playbook.
Wide
You can go
open.
down almost to the last page if you want to.
I would venture to say on second down and 3, you're going to see Christie run the ball again. I think they want to control the clock, control the game, and make certain that they don't make mistakes and see if they can continue to move that defense. Joe Blong on the keeper this time, cuts to the outside, a great move. He's inside the 30, down to the 24-yard line. It'll be enough to move the sticks, and it'll be another 1st and 10 for the John Glenn Bobcats. Tacklers on that play were led by number 8, Fred Murray, as it was not until Long made a great dip to the inside to keep the defender at bay. Got a little brush block, went to the outside, picked up another 5.
Man, I'll tell you what, that offensive line of John Glenn is doing a fantastic job, Jeff. They're getting off the ball. They're doing a nice job. Great blocking schemes, doing it right. And there's nothing fancy about what Bobcats are doing right now.
They're just strapping it up and heading downfield. Joe Blong again with the handoff to Christie. Christie with a huge hole again, and he's going to pick up at 11 yards down to the 13-yard line. And, Mike, he's 7 or 8 yards downfield before he's even getting touched.
Noah Thanglin, number 74, took his man 7 or 8 yards down the field, didn't stop till he heard the whistle, Jeff. Great job by that young man on the offensive line.
As the clock rolls again, trying to get some substitutes in for Saginaw Arthur Hill. Joe Blong looks over the defense right now. He's got trips to the wide side. And that handoff again, cutting to the outside. Losing contain. Christie's down to about the 2-yard line. And he is going to be knocked out of bounds just at the 2-yard line. A beautiful hit that time by Alan Lane. But what Alan doesn't realize is that was after an 11-yard gain.
First and goal for the Bobcats, Jeff, inside the 5. They're going to put it at the 2-yard line. But again, great blocking by the point of attack by the offensive line. And good vision while he's running the football also.
So they go to a new look right now. They've got splits in the backfield. And they're going to walk Christie into the end zone. It's another John Glenn Bobcat touchdown! Not even to the midway point of our first half of play with 6:22 left. The John Glenn Bobcats kicked off to start this game and have scored 2 offensive touchdowns. Could not have asked for a better start to this football game if you're a John Glenn Bobcat.
Yeah, it has been absolutely perfect for the Bobcats, Jeff. Good field position, good defense, good offense, good special teams, and a good extra point.
It's up and it's good. Again, time out of the field with 6:22 left in our first quarter of play. It's the John Glenn Bobcats 14 and the Arthur Hill Lumberjacks nothing. We'll be back in just a minute here on BCTV.
My hip, my knee, my joints feel out of whack. Ow, ow, oh my, the pain, I can't take it anymore.
Back here on BCTV, Jeff Doden and Mike Wasdala, a little spirited crowd here. The students are enjoying the activities here early on in this football game.
Well, it's a great crowd tonight, Jeff. A little celebration at the end of the first week of school for the John Glenn Bobcats.
There is a little bit deeper kick, and that is going to be taken by Alan Lane. Lane actually gets a little seam, and he's up over the 35, close to the 40-yard line. Officially, they'll call it the 40-yard line. At that point, after the good run back, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Arthur Hill Lumberjacks. Now, Mike, I was able to sneak in early tonight. Long before most other people got here, you couldn't get by the front gate. Tom Matuszewski stopped and he said, hey, he goes, you work at the ISD. He goes, you got to have some 50-50 tickets. That is the first thing that you have seen at this football stadium for decades.
Yep.
He came with the foundation, I think, but he's just another one of those great volunteers that sells 50-50 tickets forever.
Well, he's so good. He sold me not $5 worth, but $10 worth. That's how good he is.
He must be a retired principal.
And a Michigan man.
A good Michigan man. Back out of the shotgun, trying to throw that ball over the middle. It sails across the middle, and the ball was just about picked off by Trace Box. And Trace was coming up to lay the hit and didn't really adjust quick enough to the ball. I'll tell you, he won't have a much easier ball to intercept all year long, but he was coming up. He was thinking about laying the wood.
I'll tell you, the fellas are going to be giving him a little hard time when they watch the films on Sunday, Jeff. I guarantee
well,
you.
Been
there, done that.
His body language right now
is, ooh, Daddy, I should have had that one.
I was dancing in the end zone, and I just forgot the mail. 2nd down and 10 yards to go. Arthur Hill again out of the shotgun. Back to pass again. Here comes the pressure. Pass across the middle. Great depth from the linebacking core. And that looks like number 59 knocked that one down.
Yeah.
Hunter Peterson gets a great drop for a linebacker and knocks it down.
And good, Jeff, he's got his hand on the pivot. He's looking around. He's looking at the quarterback's eyes, and he saw exactly where he's going to throw it. Didn't intercept it, but knocked it down. 3rd down and 10 for the Lumberjacks at their own 40-yard line.
Now, you'd expect that out of your Mike linebacker. He gets back there, sees, he flows to the open area on the field, follows the eyes, and gets that big paw up in the air to bat it down. Textbook 3rd down and 10. Again, another 3rd and long for Arthur Hill. Don't tell me we're thinking alike again.
You took it right
oh, boy.
You took the words right out of my mouth. 3rd and long, not good for the Lumberjacks.
As that quarterback comes up to the line of scrimmage, it's Foster, as he will be in that short shotgun again. And they got a little confusion, and I believe they're going to take a timeout. And we'll take one as well with 6:06 left in the first half, 14-0. John Glenn over Arthur Hill. Will be back in just a minute here on BCTV.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
Back here on BCTV as we look at those big dogs up front for the John Glenn Bobcats, and they have been more than neutralizing here in the first half of the first quarter.
John Glenn has played a wonderful football game so far here in the first quarter, Jeff. They're up 14-0 with 6:06 to go in the game. Just what the Lumberjacks don't want again. They've had this all game long. 3rd down and long, not good for the Lumberjacks.
As you know that John Glenn, the rushers that are coming, are going to pin their ears back. Motion to the wide side of the field, creating trips. And they throw a little bubble screen, and look at the pursuit coming from John Glenn. They are going to knock him out of bounds at about the 47-yard line. That's going to be about 3 yards short of the first down. As that pass was completed on the play, Nathan Jacobs amongst others. Also floating over there was Hunter Peterson again, who just seems to have a sniffer for the football.
Yeah, Hunter's had a nice game here in the first quarter for the Bobcats, Jeff. Great pursuit to the football. 4th down and a long 4 yards for the Lumberjacks. Looks like they're going to go for it at the John Glenn 45, we're going to call 47-yard line.
Yep, they really don't have anything to lose at this point. They're not going to gain anything by counting on their defense to win. They've got to score points, and so they'll see what's going to happen right now as they come up to the line of scrimmage. And they're going to run motion. Nope, they're going to bring them into the backfield maybe to help protect. As they'll run a 3-receiver set going right up the middle. Stuffed at the line of scrimmage by the defensive interior line. We'll wait to see who gets up out of the bottom of that pile for the John Glenn Bobcats. Looked like big number 75, Samuel Snyder, was in the middle of all that action. He just absolutely clogged up the hole, and he had company.
Yeah, it did a nice job, Jeff. Got a lot of hats of the football, and it looked like it was going to be a pretty nice play for the Lumberjacks, but again, that tough defense of the Bobcats came through. They're going to get the ball again in great field position in the Lumberjack territory at the 48-yard line. Nice job. That was a good defensive stand.
They certainly have done all that they've been asked in this ballgame as they've gone trips to the near side of the field. Joe Blanc rolls up his sleeves, calls out the numbers. He's back to pass, plenty of time to throw the football. He throws it into double coverage and was very lucky that that ball didn't get picked off. It was Woolshide, number 6. I was waiting to see if that was number 5 or 6. But that's a ball that Job really didn't want. That safety read his eyes and jumped right into the play.
Yeah, he tried to thread the needle there, Jeff. But again, he'll learn on that one. He's got another chance. 2nd down and 10 for the Bobcats.
When you're running trips, you like to see one of the 2 outside receivers take that safety away. And again, the running play. And that time it was number 17, Noah DeShano, without much to go to. And he ran into quite a big defender in number 53.
73.
73, and that is
Kason Brooks, yeah. Nice job by Brooks. Third down, they moved them all the way back into their own territory, Jeff. It's going to be 3rd down and 12 for the Bobcats.
Lumberjacks giving the Bobcats a little taste of their own medicine on 3rd and long here.
Nice defensive stand by Arthur Hill.
Watch Joe Blong. He'll probably roll to this near side of the field with a run-pass option. We'll see if we're inside Coach Warner's head. He's back to pass. They got a little screen set up, and he gets to the outside of the screen, breaks a tackle, but what great defensive pursuit that time from Josh Stellard. Kept that from being a big play. And they just could have waited another half a second to let that play develop, and the defensive line would not have been a factor, but Job had to get rid of it, and it's 4th down, and it's going to be about 5 yards to go for a 1st down, and I think they're going to go for it.
Yeah, I like that call, Jeff. That was a good call with the screen. I think that was the right call for that time. They're going to go for it. They're at the Lumberjack 43-yard line. We'll call it the 44, and they got 5 yards to get.
And we'll find out what they've got. One offset back. Twins to the near side, twins to the far side. Joe Blong back. He's got time to throw the ball in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. It was a high pass. It was intended for Rory O'Hare. And the ball will go over on downs. It'll be 1st and 10 for the second Arthur Hill Lumberjacks. Ball will be placed at their own 44-yard line, which is the best field position that Arthur Hill's had all night.
Well, and what's happened to Arthur Hill in the beginning of the game, Jeff, down 14-0. Take your hats off to those kids. They did a nice defensive stand here and got the ball back in good field position, so a little positive mojo for the Lumberjacks.
Something that they need to have something to build on.
Yeah, absolutely. They needed something like that. They couldn't afford to go down by any more than what they are at 14-0.
Yeah, because John Glenn gets that kickoff to start the second half, so you definitely don't want to build or dig too big a hole.
Yep. This is going to give the Lumberjacks a little bit of a confidence boost. Started out slow. This is what they need. Let's see what they have up their sleeves. Maybe they can get some yardage here and put something in the end zone.
Zamarian Foster back. 3-step drop. Here comes the pressure. He's got happy feet across the middle. A nice grab that time down at the 40-yard line to number 84 on the play, and that is Andre Jackson, as Jackson just used his hands and brought that ball down and picked up about 16. A penalty's going to bring that back.
Boy, Zamarian Foster really did a nice job stepping up in the pocket. He threw a rope down to number 84, Jackson, but it's going to be illegal procedure against the Arthur Hill Lumberjacks. And I'll tell you what, it's just been a tough start for the Lumberjacks.
All right, it's illegal procedure, but the play was not stopped at the onset, so the only thing that it can be is 5 men in the backfield.
Yep.
And that is a communication thing, and I'm certain that the Arthur Hill coach is going, man, wasn't he close enough to the line of scrimmage? You know, he might have been in no man's land, but, man, he wasn't clear cut off the line, was he?
Well, and,
yeah, Coach, he was. I wouldn't have thrown it unless he was way back.
That's right. You know, we got a nice crew up from the Flint area, Jeff, doing the game tonight, refereeing.
So you take away plus 16 and move them -5. That's a 21-yard mistake as they come to the outside, trying to get to the outside with some fair speed to the outside. But again, great pursuit coming from the Bobcats, leveling number 10 and Christie number 15.
And on the catch, Giante Barboza for the Arthur Hill Lumberjacks. Got a little bit back, Jeff, 2nd down and 11. But you know what? You don't want to take too much and get too much at one time. So this is a nice gain on 1st down, 2nd down and 11 for the Lumberjacks.
It is another 2nd and long. Again, it's been the same old story for them all game long with 3:41 left in the first quarter because he hopped out of bounds here. But the coaches from John Glenn were talking to the defenders. It's like, you could not give him up to the outside. If we were playing him in Canada, that kid would still be running. So you got to get him back to the inside of the field. 2nd down and 11. Here comes the John Glenn Bobcat pressure.
Fumble.
Falls down to the ground. And it looks like it's still loose, and the Bobcats say they've got the football. Will it be blue coming up with brown at the bottom of the stack?
Nope, going to be white.
It will be white football, as the Arthur Hill Lumberjacks were lucky to get back on that football, as the quarterback on that play just could not keep hand of that ball, as Foster had pressure coming from the strong side of the field, And another loss on the play will put them back to the 38-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 16.
Looked like Marquavis Little, number 69, the offensive lineman, the junior, came up with the fumble, Jeff. 3rd down, and again, a long ways to go for the Lumberjacks. They got to go all the way into Bobcat territory to about the 46-yard line to get a first down.
Look at the umbrella here for the John Glenn defense as their back 3 are 12 yards off the ball. There's a penalty flag down on an incomplete pass, and we're going to have a holding call on number 69, but they're going to refuse that penalty, and it's going to be 4th down as the John Glenn Bobcats are going to get their hands back on the ball, Mike, for the 4th time in this first quarter, and they kicked off to start the game.
Yeah, this has been just incredible for the Lumberjacks, Jeff, just not going their way. I know they came in here with high hopes going against the Glenn Bobcats for the first time, but they got off the bluebird. Things are just not going well for those young men right now.
Well, they had a positive string of plays defensively. Then they had a big offensive play that was called back because of a penalty. Every time they do something good, something bad happens to negate that momentum that they're starting to build, and it's frustrating because they've got some players with some talent.
Yeah, they do have some talent. That quarterback is outstanding, Jeff. They're just kind of shooting themselves in the foot.
And he's only a 10th grader. A little bit better kick this time, as that ball hits on the 37-yard line and will roll down to the 32. So we end up with a nice little, about a 30-yard kick. So by far the best kick for Arthur Hill tonight. But the Big Blue offense comes rolling back onto the field for their 4th offensive series here in this first quarter. And we'll see if they get back to the basics a little bit, or if Joe Blong tries to use what little breeze is behind his back, because we look at Old Glorian really not flowing too heavy right now.
Not like it was in the pregame, Jeff. It was blowing a good 15, 20 miles an hour, and it's almost down to nothing right now.
Well, Jared and Natalie Doan are elated that that's the case, because they said it was cold up there early. Here's a nice hole up the middle. Number 15 on the play, Greg Christie, bangs forward to the 45. I like the way he finishes, too. If you're in front of me, I'm going to put the helmet down, and I am going to try and bowl right over the top here.
I'm not going around you, fellas. I'm going to go through you and did a nice job. 1st and 10 for the Bobcats at their own 45-yard line. Again, nice hole by that offensive line of the Bobcats.
Gregory Christie again is the single back. Trips to the wide side of the field, single to the near side. Joe Blong with a handoff again. Christie gets about 4 yards again as he finishes that play very, very well. Tacklers on the play were led defensively by number
21.
Okay.
Yep.
That is Brooks. As he got up, I was waiting to see if that was a 21 or a 71. The way he had his shirt tucked, it was hard to tell. But again, Christie with positive yards and finishes the play by moving forward. Got to watch out. This defensive tackle for Arthur Hill might just be in the neutral zone. Are they going to blow this thing dead at the start of the play? Well, he backed up a half inch. Are they going to give it to him? Yep, they're going to. As the pass is complete, it's short of the first down. It's complete on the play to Hotelling. It's Robert Hotelling with a nice catch. Good concentration on that catch, Coach, as it was behind him and he just scooped it up.
Yeah, and he went right to an open area on the field, Jeff, and got a couple yards. 3rd down and short for the Bobcats in Lumberjack territory.
As again, they're running twins to both sides, and a little bit of anticipation of the snap count. John Glenn says, I'll be glad to take that free 5. We'll move the sticks. It'll be another 1st and 10 for the John Glenn Bobcats, and it looks like potentially Arthur Hill needs a timeout, and I have not seen the official signal for it yet. Did they signal timeout yet?
Yeah, I think there is a timeout, Jeff. I just don't know who called that timeout. I would say it was Arthur Hill, if I'm not mistaken.
Back in just a moment here on BCTV.
AAA Transport and Limousine is the Great Lakes Bay region's most reliable and requested service. We provide many types of transportation services, from non-emergency medical, wheelchair accessible, school transport services, and shuttle services. Our company strives to provide exceptional service to our customers. Our services are tailored to each person or company's specific needs. For the last 10 years, we have pushed the mark higher and higher to give the best service possible. Rest assured that you are in safe hands when you ride with AAA Transport and Limousine. Back here on BCTV, Jeff Doden, Mike Wisdala along with you. Jared and Natalie Doan up top doing the camera work, and Nick Page, our producer and director. I guess they were going to give them a timeout instead of the free 5, and we're going to have either a horse collar or a face mask, depending on what happened. You could tell by the angle in which he was tossed to the ground that it's one or the other, and it's going to be a personal foul of the face mask variety. 15 yards on the end. And, the only thing I can think on that previous play is Arthur Hill called timeout prior to their defensive tackle jumping into the neutral zone.
Yeah, I think that's what might happen, Jeff. But, boy, Job Long got the old face mask grab, 15 extra yards tacked on for the John Glenn Bobcats, and the bad luck just continues for Arthur Hill, Jeff.
Now, did you ever get grabbed by the face mask back? Did they have face masks back then? I didn't know if it was leather or...
Well, this is what happens when you don't wear a face mask.
Well, it was only the 70s, Jeff. And the defensive line again moves, and I believe a free 5 is going to come for the John Glenn Bobcats. They're going to call the offense moving, but I saw the defense moving, and the head linesman is going to come all the way over to this side of the field to confer with the line judge. Okay, yeah, this is what I got. Normally you call for him to meet in the middle. And now the ref says, I don't care what you guys call, but you got to let me in on it so we can make the call.
That young man ran all the way across the field, 54-some yards.
Holy moly, and the ref has not made the call yet. He says maybe there's no need for me to make that call right now, but it is a penalty against Arthur Hill. They'll back him down 5 more, and it'll be first down and 5 yards to go for probably the last play of our first quarter here for John Glenn. Joe Blong again out of the shotgun. He's back to pass the football, throwing that thing downfield, running out of room as that thing was just thrown out of bounds with 43.1 ticks left in the first quarter of play.
That was for Robert Hoteling was the receiver, Jeff, and a nice defensive job for the Lumberjacks by number 8, Fred Murray.
Fred knew exactly where the sideline was at, used that as the extra defender, kind of just rode without touching the receiver to the outside. He ran out of real estate to catch that football.
Yep, great job by Fred for the Lumberjacks.
Second down and 5. Handoff right up the middle, wide open again, down inside the 10, banging forward into the end zone. Gregory Christie, it's a John Glenn Bobcat touchdown. Boy, I'll tell you, do not try and arm tackle that young man. He was on a mission, and he snipped in the end zone, and he finds pay dirt.
I like the way that young man runs, Jeff. I'm not going around you like I said before. I'm going through you. You got to stop me. Bulldoze over that Lumberjack. Nice run. 22 yards for the touchdown.
Well, he looked like a running back that was behind you back in the day.
We
won't mention the Scrock's name.
Mr. Scrocky.
Extra point is up, and it is good. Timeout on the field with 37.1 ticks left in the first quarter. John Glenn Bobcats 21. The Saginaw Arthur Hill Lumberjacks nothing. We'll be back in just a moment here on BCTV.
You're up. There's an old saying, you can never have too many officials. The age of the average official is 52 and getting older all the time. We're constantly recruiting new people, younger people to join us. After you register with the MHSAA, look on the website to find an officials association near you. They'll put you in a position to succeed as an official. We all learned a lot from high school sports, and officiating is a great way to give back to the game. There's help wanted. Just whistle.
Touchdown, Cowboys.
Boy, you get to a football game and a football game breaks out, Mike.
The future right over there in the south end zone.
Boy, they're over there in Bobcat country having a lot of fun playing their own game of football. As here is a high-end over-end kick, and that thing hits on the 15-yard line. It's finally picked up on the 13. Arthur Hill Lumberjacks finding a seam up over the 35 to the 40, out over the 41 to the 42-yard line. And that was a great return by Jackson, as he gives the Arthur Hill Lumberjacks another positive boost. Can they capitalize and maintain that burst of energy?
We talked about early in the first quarter, Jeff. They didn't need the Bobcats to get up 21-0 in the first quarter. 14, we might be able to live with, but that was a huge touchdown for John Glenn with 37 seconds to go in the first.
Boy, I'll tell you what, the Bobcats have not done much wrong tonight. Maybe one pass Joe Blong would like to have back. It wasn't picked off. Other than that, the offensive machine has just rolled for the Bobcats here in the first 12 minutes. Trying to roll to the wide side of the field. Almost looked like a broken play, and the pass was in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. And that is number 4, Foster. Boy, that hit him in a tough spot. Boy,
right
that
hand.
Quarterback just threw him a nice teeth-high fastball, and he didn't look that thing in, and it bounced right off his head.
Well, you know, you look at some of these, they got a lot of brothers on here, Jeff. Brooks, Foster, and Foster.
Could have been the law firm.
Could have been the law firm of Brooks and Brooks, Foster and Foster. So Zamarian threw it to his brother Malik, and I'm sure they'll have a little conversation tonight when they get home.
He's like, man, in the front yard,
Dude.
that's complete 99 out of 100 times. What just happened here?
What's going on, brother?
Twins
Come
to the
on.
near side and twins to the far side, trying to get up the middle. Again, superb defense that time by number 59, Hunter Peterson. If Hunter doesn't pick him up, he swings to the outside, and he's got a lot of green grass.
Well, nice job by Peterson, Jeff. Get to the running back, and that's going to be the last play here in the first quarter.
As we roll it down with 5 seconds left in the first quarter, the first 12 minutes are in the books. The John Glenn Bobcats with 21 points and the Saginaw Arthur Hill Lumberjacks nothing. We'll be back in just a minute right here on BCTV.
How's married life? Are you ready to have a baby? Baby, baby. How about that baby? Ooh. I'm not getting any younger.
When you are ready, with the only neonatal intensive care unit in the Great Lakes Bay region, Covenant is the safest place for your delivery. Go to mycovenantbaby.com.
Back here ready to start the second quarter. Jeff Doan and Mike Wasdala along with you as you watch the Arthur Hill Lumberjacks break the huddle as they come out, and the coaching staff has got a tough job trying to keep these kids positive and to try and accentuate the good things they've done in the first quarter.
And they did a few things, Jeff. They just had some bad luck, some bad penalties and some drop passes, but overall, they've made some strides, and now they just got to come out here in the second quarter and put something out on the scoreboard.
Boy, a familiar situation, 3rd and 11, as they've had 3rd and long the whole ball game. Trying to come to the near side, throwing that ball way downfield, and it's caught. Down at the 10, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Jackson's into the end zone. It's an Arthur Hill Lumberjack touchdown. Again, beating that safety, and the safety's job is to not let anybody behind him. But you got to take your hats off to the Saginaw Arthur Hill Lumberjacks, as that pass was absolutely picture perfect from Foster. He got a chance to step up into the throw, and he put some air under it.
He's got a nice arm on him, Jeff. 57-yard touchdown pass to Jackson, and they strike quick here in the second quarter. And again, Zamarian Foster, the sophomore from Arthur Hill, good composure, and really threw a nice dime and laid it out there where Foster could go and get it. Or Jackson, I'm sorry.
How often in a high school varsity game do you see 2 sophomores excelling at this level?
Yep.
You don't get to see that once very often, but let alone 2 of them on the field at the same time. They're going to go for 2 points. Zamarian Foster up under center right now with an I backfield formation. And that handoff goes off left tackle, and the number 4, the running back, isn't going to get into the end zone. And that is Foster Malik, and he will not get there. The 2-point conversion, no good. Time out of the field with 11:50 left in our second quarter of play. It's 21-6. John Glenn on top, and we'll keep it right here, Mike. And maybe that causes to be a little wake-up call for John Glenn. Maybe things got a little too easy for them in the first quarter.
I've been very fortunate, Jeff, to coach in the Valley against Arthur Hill and all the Valley teams. And I'm going to tell you one thing about those teams. There is no quitting those young men in any of those Valley teams. And they're going to come to play, and they had a little tough stretch, but that was a good pass, good positive something going on for the Arthur Hill Lumberjacks right now.
I was very, very impressed to see them bounce back and make this happen. If John Glenn scored again and made it 28-0 before the end of the first half, it would be very, very tough for them to come back. Now they got just a little sign of life, a little spark now. Let's see if they can carry that over and what happens with their defense. But this is the answer time for John Glenn to say, guess what? You made a big play. We're going to come back and we're going to smash you right in the face, and we're going to move down the field, and we're going to put that 6 back on the board.
Well, and think about the Lumberjacks, Jeff. First time they've probably been over here to John Glenn playing a regular season football game. And they want to put on a good show for everybody. And so, that was a great pass by Foster going to Jackson. Puts them right back in this football game.
We'll see what happens now with the kickoff. There's a high, short kick that will be taken by John Foss. Foss going up the middle. He's over the 35 to about the 37-yard line before he's brought down on the play. And at that point, it'll be 1st and 10 for the John Glenn Bobcats, as they'll start with pretty fair field position again. What they do with it with 11:45 left in the first half, only time will tell.
Bart Brown on the tackle for the Lumberjacks, Jeff. And again, like you said, great field position for the Bobcats. Sun going down. The lights are coming on here at John Luke Field.
It is a thing of beauty. I'll tell you what, when the sun goes down, as the head linesman, you love it because you can see again. Handoff right up the middle. And that is number 17, Noah DeShano. And he is the little quicker of the two backs, as the tackle was made by Malik Foster again. But it'll be a 12-yard gain and another 1st and 10 for John Glenn.
Great blocking again by that John Glenn offensive line at the point of attack, Jeff. Big first down all the way into Lumberjack territory.
Like the way that both these backs are getting utilized. One's a little quicker, one's a little more powerful. You change them up, you keep them both fresh. Out here, Joe Blong with a pass to the outside. Great block by the wide receiver, and there's going to be a gain of about 9 yards on the play as they get down, and it looks like Neapolitano is going to lead the tacklers on the play, but it is going to be 2nd down and 1 yard to go. But that play was successful because of great downfield blocking from Rory O'Hare.
And I like the way the coaching staff is calling the plays tonight, Jeff. They're kind of spreading around. A little power, a little speed, a little pass. I like the play calling tonight by the Bobcats.
2nd down and just a shorty. As Joe Blong looks over, they're going to change that play at the last second. Single back once again, Noah DeShano just to the right of Joe Blong. I look for DeShano to have a little taste on this ball. That goes to show what I know. As that thing goes to number 89, Rory O'Hare. And, yep, that confirms why I'm up here in the booth and not calling plays.
There's a reason why we're not coaching anymore and we're up here, because we don't know what the heck we're doing.
Boy, maybe we're thinking like they're thinking, and they think, okay, great, if they stack the run, we could break a big play here in the air.
They're probably tuned in. They said, well, Doan and Gwiz says run it,
we'll
so we're
going
to pass it.
We're the opposites. 1st and 10 for the John Glenn Bobcats. Back with plenty of time. Joe Blong is going to have an opportunity. He tucks it down. He makes a couple of people miss. He gets about a 12-yard gain on the play inside the 20, avoids the big hit, and gets out of bounds.
Knocked out of bounds by number 8 for the Arthur Hill. Freddie Murray again on the tackle. That young man's had a nice game tonight, Jeff.
We've called his name a lot defensively.
He's played a fine football game, but not before Joe Blong, the sophomore, picks up another Bobcat first down right about the 19-yard line of Arthur Hill.
When your leading tackler is a defensive back, that's not always a good sign.
That's a little bit too deep.
He's been all over the field as a corner, though, as Joe Blong looks over to the sideline again. Clock moving with 10 and 16 left in our first half. As they are going to wait, still not within 10 seconds. The back judge hasn't raised his arm yet. Joe Blong set. They're going to run a little flare pass out here on the outside, and blowing a tire out there was leveling, as he tried to put a move on, and a little turf toe got him.
Well, it was a nice call right there, Jeff. They had a lot of real estate in front of him. He just got tripped up a little bit, tripped up over his own feet. But again, that bubble pass, that flare pass out here to the near sideline has been very effective the last few downs for the Bobcats.
I like the way that Job throws it to a spot.
Yep.
Gets him running upfield so that he's got a chance to get some momentum. As they'll run trips now to the wide side of the field. Joe Blong with a handoff. Taking that thing off of the left side. And what a great stand-up tackle on Noah DeShano. As we'll pull up the name of that young man. That was number 4 on the tackle. And I'm going to tell you what, Malik Foster absolutely stood Noah DeShano up. But Noah picked up 4 yards first and makes it a manageable 3rd down and 4 yards to go.
Nice job. Hard run by DeShano again, Jeff. And he's a big fellow. You take a look at him. He's a big young man. He runs hard. He runs with some authority. And they've got third down and about 5 for the Bobcats. They got to get inside the 10-yard line for a first down.
Probably 4-down territory here, I would think.
Yep.
So I'm not going to guesstimate on what they'll probably do. We'll find out all together here. Joe Blong on the keeper. He's at the 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He's into the end zone. It's a John Glenn Bobcat touchdown. Boy, I'll tell you what, the defense flowed to the fake to the handoff. He says, I'm feeling lonely, but I'm seeing pay dirt. I think I can make it. Goes untouched into the end zone for a Bobcat answering of 6.
DeShano had it all set up, Jeff. They faked the handoff to DeShano. Long kept it right in the end zone. They were all concentrating on DeShano.
Boy, you'd have thought they knew what they were doing on that drive. It's amazing. It's good stuff. Extra point is up, and it is just long enough and good. Time out of the field with 8:50 left in our first half of play. 28-6. John Glenn regains the momentum in the first half. We'll be back in a moment right here on BCTV.
In 1916, Warren Miller chose Auto Owners Insurance for his new car. In 1947, his son made the same choice, as did his grandson in 1979. And today, his great-granddaughter did the same. As we reflect on where we've been, we're grateful to our independent agents and to those who put their trust in us, and to the generations who will. Auto Owners Insurance.
Plum Harris Insurance Agency in Bay City is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
Back here as we look at the John Glenn Bobcat Marching Band having a little first half fun in this ball game. I'll tell you, if you can't love being up 28-6, then you're in the wrong facility.
It is a great night for the Bobcats, Jeff.
Here is one of those kicks, too, trying to get that into a spot on the field. Ball finally picked up, trying to run to the outside, going backwards, which is not the way to get upfield. And that is Allen Lane, and he finally is brought down at the 31-yard line. But you got to go north-south. When you go east-west, you're going to get in trouble. You got number 11, Damian Davis, and 31, Jasnewski.
Did you see how that ball just died right there? That looked like a Corey Snyder pitching wedge from about 105 out. Just killed it. Draw it back, just killed it right there. You know what, Corey Snyder, first flight champion at the Bay County Men's Golf Tournament this year.
I was shocked. I just thought that he could dress nice and that he could coach basketball. I didn't know he could golf, too.
You should see him, man. He's right behind us. He's hearing every word. But it was a pleasure to watch that young man win that first flight this year, Jeff. Yeah, he can hit a golf ball.
Up to the line of scrimmage comes the Arthur Hill Lumberjacks, hoping that they can make some offensive movement off of their last possession, giving them a touchdown. Single back in the backfield. Here comes the pressure from John Glenn. The pass is off, and it's a floater, and it is caught on the play as the safety just rotated a half-second slow to get to that play, and that was number 8, Freddie Murray.
Freddie Murray with a nice job, Jeff, but we got a penalty flag back here about the 34-yard line.
That's not a good sign.
No.
As whenever you see the umpire grab that, or the back judge grab the umpire or football and take it to the umpire, it's easy for me to say. That means it's going way back.
Not sure what happened.
Well, they have a 5-yard penalty, and that is thrown by the umpire. I did not get an indication from the referee.
Went to the head. I didn't see. He was going to the head with his hand, Jeff. So that was the indication. What he said. I'm not quite sure.
I wished I would have seen it.
Yeah. Yep.
I was a half-second late looking at him, but nonetheless, a 5-yard penalty, and it will be 1st and 15. Here comes the pressure again, and absolutely nowhere for the quarterback to go. Boy, as he was going down, Mike, he was thinking about getting rid of that football, but
Christie.
That is not something you want to do, and that is number 15, Gregory Christie. And once he grabbed on, you knew he wasn't going to let go.
Yeah, Christie's had a nice game tonight on both sides of the football, Jeff, but you're right. He was going to try to throw that football. Discretion's a better part of valor for that young man. He held on to it, but again, a big loss for the Lumberjacks. They're going to be 2nd down and 19 to go. They got to go all the way out to their own 40 to get that first down.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that 5-yard penalty was maybe somebody that didn't have, wasn't strapped up, or a mouth guard in or something. I wished I would have been able to see it, but 4-yard loss on the second half of it. So you've got 9 yards minus on that next play. So
It's second down, as you said, Mike, and 19 yards to go. Again, the mirror all night long, Mike, is second and third and long.
Yeah, they have not put themselves in good position on second and third down, Jeff, but take your hat off to the Bobcats. They have a lot to say about that.
Again, twins to the near side and twins to the far side. Back with pressure on and contain again, and that ball's thrown into no man's land as the receiver on the play tried to fly upfield, and then he cut the route off, and that was number 84.
Andre Jackson.
So Andre had a little miscommunication, and maybe that ball was just thrown away because he broke the route off.
I think it was thrown away, Jeff. There was good coverage on Jackson right here on the near sidelines. Third down and long. 19 to go for the Lumberjacks. We got 7:07 to go in the first half. Big lead for John Glenn, 28-6 over the Arthur Hill Lumberjacks.
All right, I'm going to try and get inside your head again, Coach. Third down and long. Do you bring
there's not
5?
Much there.
Do you bring 5 and you put pressure on them right away, or do you think you can get enough with 3 to 4?
I think I'm going to go with 3 to 4.
You're going to play soft on your coverage and keep them inside the sticks. All right.
Way I've been rushing right now, I'm going to go with the 4. I've been successful, and I'm going to stay right there.
We'll find out if Coach Quizdala is thinking like Coach Warner. As they're going to come with a blitz. They're coming with that 5th person that I thought, and they break it down.
Yep.
Down he goes, and the ball is fumbled. Trying to get to the outside, making sure that Contain is not lost on the play. And Noah DeShano says, I'm going to finish the play off by dropping him at the 26-yard line. But the big man on that play looked like Samuel Snyder, number 75. He got the mitts on the quarterback, and he went with the football.
Well, it looked like he just kind of flipped it back to him, Jeff, and they've got some of that yardage back. But, again, great pressure. They had 4 down linemen, rushed the linebacker, put a little bit of pressure on him. And, again, John Glenn will come away with fantastic field position. It was 6:24 to go.
Trace Box back to return the kick, and he doesn't need to go back any farther than this because 30 yards is the farthest that they have been able to kick it tonight. Pressure up the middle again, nearly
good catch.
Stymied. A nice fair catch that time. Box takes it at the 43-yard line. Looks like about a 30-yard kick. At that point, it'll be 1st and 10 for the John Glenn Bobcats with 6:08 left in our first half.
Not sure if who else is in the press box tonight over there. We see the superintendent of the Bangor Township Schools is in the house.
Well, it's got to be a big night if Matt Schmidt is in the house.
He knew Bay County TV was here.
That is a thing of beauty. You know, I'm really feeling like somebody up here with the who's who in Bangor all
Corey
in one spot.
Snyder, Mr. Snyder, Matt Schmidt. I'll tell you what, it don't get any bigger.
Jeff Hart's down there, I'm telling you.
Wow.
I think we're going to come here every week.
I don't think we deserve to be up here.
Oh, but I'm glad we got here first. 1st and 10 for the John Glenn Bobcats. Back to throw. Perfect throw again. About a 4 or 5 yard gain on the play. Penalty flag down. May have had a little masking.
And a little late one in the backside, too,
I think that's just a confirmation.
Okay. All right. I think you're right.
Judge doesn't get to throw his hanky a whole lot. He wants the Tide stick to come out once in a while when he gets home.
He wants Mama to take that hanky and wash it when he gets home tonight.
He says, look, Mama, look what we were able to do here
tonight.
So they're going to call off another major penalty. And that'll be another 15 yards added on to the end of that. And it'll be another 1st and 10 for the John Glenn Bobcats with 6:03 left in our first half of play. John Glenn looks like they're on the move again. That chain gang's getting a little tired down there trying to keep up with the activities.
A little tuckered out, are they?
Clock moving again. Joe Blong up in his shotgun right now with a single back. Quick 3-step drop. He's throwing that deep fade to the outside, just outside the field of play. Looked like that was intended for number 21, Trace Box. Very well defended again by John Glenn.
I'd like to call it, Jeff.
By the Arthur Hill.
1st and 10, put it up in the air and see what can happen. They've been very successful both ways. Go for the juggler right here on 1st and 10.
I like that call for the simple fact you're running the ball well, and all you need is that defensive back to peek in the backfield for a minute, and your receiver is by. So 2nd down and 10.
Nice.
Beautiful job by the inside backer, number 4 on the play, Malik Foster.
just comes up and stuffs that hole shut. If he gets by Foster, then I'm going to tell you what, Greg Christie has a whole lot of running room.
Malik Foster's a big individual too, Jeff. He's put together. He's a good-looking football player. No gain on the play. 3rd down and 10 for the Bobcats at their own 37 at the Lumberjack 37-yard line.
Pretty unfamiliar situation for 3rd and long for them. Joe Blong back. He's got time to pass the football. He's looking around right now. He's going to try and tuck it now. He's going to throw that ball downfield just past the outstretched hands of the receiver. Some minor contact, but a good no call by the officials. It'll bring up a 4th down situation right now with 5:14 left in the first half. Again, do you punt it and put it deep, or do you go for it on 4th down? I say you punt it, you put them deep in their own end and see if they make a mistake.
Well, let's see what happens, what coach is going to call. Jeff, looks like they are going to go for it, or they might take some time off the clock, call timeout.
Well, you can't take time off the clock off the incomplete. So
that's right. I'm sorry. You're right. Incomplete pass.
Happen,
yeah, I'm
but,
sorry.
Maybe they'll run a quick pooch or something off of this play.
Yep.
But they've got time. Joe Blong really scans things over. 3rd and 10. They're going to go for it. He's got a lot of time to throw the football, and that is a beautifully thrown ball, but a superb job defensively. Got there right at the spot of the catch. And on 4th and 10, the ball goes over on downs. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Saginaw Arthur Hill Lumberjacks.
Not sure who was the defender for the Lumberjacks right there, Jeff, but he did a nice job on his defensive back position, breaking up that pass. Really got his hand out in front, knocked that pass down, but didn't grab on the backside of the receiver. And so it'll be turned over on downs for the Lumberjacks.
Still about half of the second quarter left. As Arthur Hill, let's see if they can put anything together offensively in this game. The first half pretty much been dominated by the Bobcats.
Yep, they've done a nice job, Jeff. Again, good field position for the Lumberjacks. Let's see if they can get something positive, maybe get it in the end zone going into halftime. They need something on the scoreboard right here.
Boy, and with that spread offense, you are one-on-one with the defensive back, so an opportunity for a big play. There's a little bit of a high snap. Some time to throw the football right into a perfect spot. Boy, I'm going to tell you what, the defensive backs were all over that play, and it looked like Nathan Jacobs going back there was just off his fingertips as he tried to sink deep enough to keep that from being a completed pass. So it'll be another big play for the Arthur Hill Lumberjacks and another 1st and 10. As we have just gotten under 5 minutes left.
Well, and what he did there, Jeff, he put it over the top of the linebackers in front of the defensive back, found an open spot on the field, and Freddie did a great job just sitting right down there, and Foster put it right on the money. That was a great job.
And that's a sophomore throwing that ball, too. He's had some real pretty tosses in this ball game for just a sophomore. There's a high snap. The timing's off. He's going to try and step up and move around the field. He makes a couple of people miss. Good thing where pursuit is coming from the backside in the form of number 52, and that's Ethan Persons. But it won't be until the sticks are moved again, and there'll be another 1st and 10 for the Arthur Hill Lumberjacks. As that running back, or the quarterback, Foster, made a couple of people miss in the open field. He's got some moves.
Well, that young man made something out of nothing, Jeff, and he has great vision downfield. It's cutting all over the place. Nice job, and a big 1st down for the Lumberjacks deep inside Bobcat territory at the 33-yard line.
So they've got another nice drive going, trying to make things happen here late in the first half. Again, our quarterback trying to make things happen in this game. Looking at twins to the near side and twins to the far side. Here comes the blitz package, and man, they had that play stuffed before it even started, and they're going to call it dead. Yeah. Momentum was stopped, and the defensive tacklers were amongst others, led by good Samuel Snyder again. He's right at the point of attack, and he had a lot of company on that tackle as well.
Nice job by the interior line, Jeff, of the Bobcats. 3:39 to go in the first half, 28-6. The Bobcats over the Lumberjacks, but the Lumberjacks got a little something going here. They got to put it in the end zone here, Jeff. They got to get something on that scoreboard.
When Arthur Hill has been making drives go, pressure has been what has neutralized those. Yeah. So I look for the defense to keep coming with that 5th man to try and create havoc and cause them to change the play on the fly.
Got to watch out for Napolitano and Jackson, Jeff, 88 and 84.
There's another high snap, and he's going to have to just step on this one. He's trying to make something happen. There's a forward lateral, and they're going to get away with that as that ball will come down to the 49-yard line. Back to the 49-yard line, but there's still another huge loss on that play, and we got another Lumberjack down on the field. And we'll take a quick break and come back right after this on BCTV.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
So now what we've got is officially a timeout by the John Glenn Bobcats with 2:45 left. Mike, what they're thinking right now, it's 3rd and long. We're going to stop the clock so they can't eat up another 25, 30 seconds by the time they place that ball down and then run the 25. We got a chance to come back late in the first half and make something happen again, maybe score one more time.
Well, with the way this Bobcat offense is running, Jeff, 2:45 is an eternity. They've done a nice job taking care of the football tonight. They have spread the wealth around. They've got a good running attack. The passing game is there, and the blocking by that offensive line, we got to give some love to the big fellas up front. They have done a nice job blocking for the runners and protecting Joe Blanc so he has time to throw the football.
If John Glenn can get their hands back on the ball, I don't look for them to try and get too crazy offensively because they get the kickoff to start the second half. So they know they've got that in their back pocket, but when you got a gunslinger like Joe Blanc, you've got the opportunity to go down the field and make something happen.
Well, and those two, and the running backs, DeShano is running hard, Jeff, and number, what's the other one? Christie, number 15, is also running very hard. So I like the way the play calling has been. They're spreading the wealth. It's been a really, really nice game for the Bobcats tonight.
Well, there's a huge 3rd down play that needs to happen right here. The ball's got to go all the way down to the 23-yard line, so they got to get 25 yards of real estate on this play or face a 4th down. And if this is an incomplete pass, then I'm certain that they're going to have to try and punt the football. So we'll find out what kind of pressure they come with. Again, looks like they're just going with a 3-man front defensively. And looks like they might be coming with a little bit of outside blitz. They take a step back, and they're going to throw that ball deep, and it's overthrown. They had a nice play on, but that was intended for number 84 on the play, and that's Jackson. And Andre couldn't get to the football. That's a tough play because it stops the clock.
Well, it stops the clock, and they're going to have to punt it away, Jeff. And some of their punts have not been a little inefficient tonight for the Lumberjacks. But, man, I'll tell you what, Andre Jackson's got some wheels on him. He got behind the defenders. Pass was just a touch overthrown. Going to be 4th down and long for the Bobcats. 4th and 26.
Yeah, he was gliding down there. But when he put that thing into 4th gear, he was flying as he rolled past the defenders. So there is a high, lazy kick, and the pressure coming from John Glenn, and they couldn't get a hold of the kick. But that thing is kicked out of bounds, and that will be a very short kick, as that'll be 1st and 10 at just about the 28-yard line for John Glenn. And I really think with that punt being inside their territory, they really couldn't ask for much more.
You look at the clock right now, Jeff. At the timeout was 2:45. It's at 2:34. Not a lot of time went off, so plenty of ticks left for the Bobcats.
They have an opportunity. A couple of timeouts left in the first half. What'll they have an opportunity to make happen? We'll find out what Jeremy Warner's got up his sleeve right now as he'll run trips to this side of the field. And if he runs a go route with one of these 3 receivers, as they're coming to the outside right now, look at the defense as they get to the football. Started off with number 4, Malik Foster, as well as number 21 on that play. Making it happen. It might have been Joshua Stellard, 71, but they really had that play stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
That was a nice job by the Bobcats. No gain, or by the Lumberjacks, Jeff. No gain, 2nd down and 10 for John Glenn. 2:07 and counting to go here in the first half.
And you know the Bobcats got 2 timeouts left, but Arthur Hill's only got 1 left. Joe Blanc back to pass right now. Lots of time to throw the football. He tosses a pass perfectly caught by number 13.
Incomplete.
Robert Hotelling, did they say he was bobbling it? He must have been bobbling it on that play. Boy, it was a perfect toss right to the sidelines. Tried to get the tippy toes down before he went out of bounds and may have just taken his eyes off the ball for a second. And that would have been a first down and stopped the clock and moved the chains.
Yep.
So it'll come back. It'll be a third down now. The Bobcats with $1:55 left have got to make something happen here on third down, or they're going to give the ball back to Arthur Hill late in the first half. Joe Blong is looking at twins to the left and right side. He's back to pass. He has time to throw the football. He throws a strike down the middle of the field to the 40-yard line. It's complete to Hoteling on the play, and Robert, a very sure-handed catch. And I'll tell you, Joe Blong threw a rope.
Yeah, it was a rope, Jeff. Stops the clock, move the chains. 1st and 10 for the Bobcats at their own 41-yard line. 1:48 and counting to go here in the first half.
That play takes a little bit to develop, too, and the offensive line gave him time. And now we're going to have a free 5 from the defensive line. They're going to stop the clock to move it. Now, we've got new rules in high school football. In the last 2 minutes, the offending team has the option of taking that clock start at the ready for play or the snap of the football. And they're going to take the snap of the they didn't give them an option.
No, they started the clock.
I'm certain they would have wanted that ball at the onset of the snap, and they were not given that option.
Yep.
That is a mistake by the officiating crew. Joe Blong with some room to run. He's to the outside. He's got the first down and more. He's sliding down to the 30-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the John Glenn Bobcats. Boy, he got past the line of scrimmage, and he had a whole lot of green grass.
Man, I'll tell you, it was a nice job. Andre Jackson in on the tackle, but a big gain for the Bobcats. Puts them all the way down to the Arthur Hill 30-yard line. 1:23 and counting to go in the first half.
As they come up again, Joe Blong quickly asking for the ball. The defense jumped, but they didn't come offside. Now Joe Blong resets the offense. He's coming to this side of the field. He has got an eternity to get rid of the ball. Very nicely caught that time by number 89, Rory O'Hare. Knows what to do. Get your yardage, get out of bounds, get the first down, stop the clock.
Coming back to the football, too, Jeff. He's coming back to the football, gets out of bounds, stop the clock with $1:06 to go, and again, good, smart, safe pass for the Bobcats.
Well, they're calling this thing as to be a second down and inches.
Oh, my Lord.
And I thought they put it right on the yard mark. Joe Blong back again, and he's going to have to get rid of it. He throws it to the outside. Probably a nice job to throw it away, and it will bring up a third down in inches as they've got 58.5 ticks left in our first half.
If Christie would have caught that, Jeff, he had nothing but real estate down the near sidelines. I think he could have taken it in the end zone, but a good thing it does stop the clock. Job throws it away. Third down in inches for the Bobcats with 58 and a hook to go in the first half.
Now they've got to work on getting that first down. They could still throw on third down because they'll have an opportunity on fourth down to make that happen. So Joe Blog says, I'm going to keep it myself. He's at the 20, the 15, the 10. Very nice job to get to the sideline. Slides that ball out to try and get an extra yard of real estate. But he says, I'm going to make certain that I stop the clock, move the chains. 1st and 10, John Glenn.
Just incredible how smart that young man is, Jeff. He knew he couldn't get inside and take it to the end zone. Had to get out and stop the clock and save the timeout. Just a smart play by that quarterback right there for the Bobcats. It's incredible. It really is.
Just silky smooth and just cool under pressure.
Cool as the other side of the pillow.
You got
I stole it.
Coach.
I stole it.
No, that's an original. As we got an injured player coming off the field for Saginaw Arthur Hill. So that will also stop it. They'll have the ready for play here in a minute. As Joe Blong from the 12-yard line has a 1st and 10. He's back with time again. Look how much time he's got to throw the football. They throw that field downfield in and out of Hotelling's hands, and he realizes it was thrown back shoulder. He had to really reach back for it, but he wants that one.
Was it intercepted? Oh, it was intercepted by number 84.
Jackson.
Wow. Thank God the people up in the booth were watching because we were sure weren't watching. Wow.
Hotelling missed that ball. It was tipped up in the air, and I thought that it fell harmlessly out of bounds, but that's why the producer and the director is sitting to our left. He's like, hey, that thing got picked.
Coach Darby was all over that, too, behind us. He saw that. He's got some vision back there.
We're going to have a couple of these guys spot for us.
They got young eyes.
Boy, it'll be a huge turning point in this ball game because John Glenn marched all the way down the field and could not put it in the end zone.
That's a tough break for the Bobcats, Jeff. They look so good.
Tough catch for Hotelling, though, because the ball was thrown to his outside shoulder, and he really had to extend backwards. He'll tell you that he thinks he should have caught it, though, because he was able to get both of his mitts on the ball.
Yep, and I did not see that interception, but Jackson with a huge interception for the Lumberjacks, 28-6. The Bobcats put that in the end zone right there, Jeff. It's a whole different ball game for Arthur Hill.
With 47 ticks left in the clock, and you see the umbrella safeties right now 20 yards off the ball as there's just a three-man rush, and they're going to send that thing to the outside. A beautiful pass completion and another 15 yards. And I'm going to tell you what, I got another 101 coaching for you. The line judge on this side has got two jobs. When that ball goes out of bounds, he takes his beanie, he tosses it on the ground, and you turn and watch the completion of the play. Should have been 15. He didn't do his job, and therefore John Glenn saved 15 yards.
Very, very lucky that they didn't call that.
That would have been a no-brainer had he seen it, and I'm surprised that maybe the back judge curling over this way didn't have an opportunity to see it, but that'll be another thing they'll have to have a little chat about at the half.
Yeah, when they're having their ice water and their granola bar, they'll be talking about it.
1st and 10 for the Arthur Hill Lumberjacks. Lots of time to throw the football. Tossing that thing out on the flats again. They got to get out of bounds. Very nice play again. Looks like Jackson out there on the far side of the field. Nope, that's number 6 with that completion on the play. And that is the kid down at the bottom, Bart Brown, that we added to the program.
Well, a nice job. The coaching staff over there said, let's go north and south. Let's not go east and west, and get forward. Go forward, get out of bounds, stop the clock with 33.4 seconds to go, Jeff. Don't dance around. Get out of bounds and stop the clock. Get some positive yardage.
Well, his first thought was to cut back to the inside. It was. And then he smartened up and said that he could get to the sideline. They've only got one timeout left. They're going to try and make something happen here. They just have to be careful they don't make a mistake. John Glenn looks like they're going to continue to come with 3. Now they come on a little delayed blitz, and over the middle, Jackson catches the ball, and he is absolutely tattooed on the play.
There's a penalty flag right there, Jeff.
As that will be Billy Bedour with the hit, and the umpire turns around and throws this flag, and they are going to say helmet contact by the defense.
I thought that was a pretty good hit from up here.
Boy, and I'll tell you, that's quite an angle for the umpire to turn around and catch. We'll have to watch that one on Sunday on the replay to see what's going on. He was very emphatic with the call. Another big break, though, for the Arthur Hill Lumberjacks. Well,
big break for the Lumberjacks. Jeff gets them into Bobcat territory at the Bobcat 45-yard line, 27.4. You got to look out for Jackson, Jeff, number 84, coming over here to the near sideline. The young man's got some wheels, got some good hands.
I want to see the next pass thrown to him because he might have a little shorter arms the next time after he got hit on that last play. We'll find out what he's made of here because I know they're going to continue to try and feed him. Here comes the pressure from John Glenn. And forcing Arthur Hill out of the pocket. Again, the pass is intended on the play for Jackson. And Jackson didn't watch that thing in. He had a nice gain on the play. Would have been right at the first down marker. And it's an incomplete pass.
Well coached by the Arthur Hill. Anytime the quarterback's rolling out, the receivers have to come back towards the ball. He came back a little bit short on the pass. 2nd down and 10. Stops the clock for the Lumberjacks.
Foster, that sophomore, really felt the pressure coming, moved the pocket, was able to buy some time, and he threw a strike too. I'll tell you, he has been extremely impressive in the first half. His receivers have got to help him out on a few of those plays.
Yeah, he's done a nice job, Jeff, as a sophomore leading this football team, and 21.3 ticks to go. And again, look for Foster, number 84, Andre Jackson, number 84. And also Malik Foster, number 4 for the Lumberjacks of Arthur Hill.
So you're calling for the law firm of Foster and Foster,
Foster
here
and
on this big second play.
Brooks, Foster and Foster, the Saginaw Arthur Hill law firm.
As they're going to go to trips here to the near side of the field. Here comes pressure again as they're going to try and go against the pressure.
Fumble.
And trying to get away from that ball and fumbling it as number 75 comes through, Samuel Snyder, and he really blew that play up. Looks like John Glenn's going to call a timeout with 11.8 ticks left in our first half. We'll take a quick break and be back after this on BCTV.
I thought I'd lost my business in that fire, but my agent was there before the flames were out. He said, together, we're going to rebuild. We've got 25 employees who depended on it, and that's all that mattered to me. My independent agent and auto owners made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll. Incredible.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there. Auto Owners Insurance.
Plum Harris Insurance Agency in Bay City is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
Back here on BCTV, Jeff Toad and Mike Wasdala along with you. Arthur Hill called that timeout, and that is their last timeout of the first half. I think they're going to just throw this thing deep and see if they can make something happen with 11 ticks left in our first half. Trips here to the near side of the field now. As the quarterback trying to make something happen here, Foster. And they're going to throw a little bubble screen out to Jackson. Jackson's going to get down the sidelines, and he's going to have one play left with 4.7 ticks left in our first half of play. And he got down to just about the 30-yard line.
He got first down.
They're in a position now, Mike, where they can at least throw that thing into the end zone and hope for something good to happen.
Well, you know who they're going to throw it to. Number 84 is going to be the man. They're just going to put it in the end zone, Jeff. And that young man's got some wheels. He's got an extra gear, got out of bounds, stopped the clock, picked up the first down, 4.7 to go here in the first half.
Andre Jackson is a senior, but I'll tell you what, that kid's got enough game that you could see him on Saturdays next year playing someplace.
He's pretty good.
You know, he's got good speed. He's got good hands. He finishes his routes. He catches just about everything thrown his way.
He's got some size to him, too.
And they've got, again, twins both sides in what will probably be the last play of our first half. As the quarterback, Foster, out of the short shotgun, nearly went over his head. Here comes the pressure from the inside, and they are going to get him to fall down to the ground, and that will be the end of our first half of play. With our score, the John Glenn Bobcats 28 and the Arthur Hill Lumberjacks 6. We're going to take a quick break and come back. We have got a special halftime show for you as they will have inductions into the John Glenn Hall of Fame, and we will have that for you in just a minute here on BCTV.
Hi, my name is Tom Izzo, the men's basketball coach at MSU. The threat of school violence is something that affects everyone and needs to be taken seriously. Okay to Say is a confidential way you can report anything that threatens your safety or the safety of others. If you see or hear something that doesn't seem right, submit a tip to Okay to Say. You can call, text, email, go online, or use the Okay to Say app. You could be the one person who helps to prevent a tragedy.
First up, class of 1995. Two-time White Conference champion 1992-93. Two-time NCNC champion 94 and 95. Four-time district champion. Three-time regional champion. Four-time state places. Fourth in 92, third in 93, second in 94, and state champion in 1995. Four-time varsity captain, four-time MVP, 58-0 record in 1995, 194 and 7-scorer high school record. His college accomplishment, wrestled at Grand Valley State University, 2000 national champion, NCAA. 17-1 record in 2000. Team captain in 2000. His coaching career, the assistant coach in 1998 at Monroe High School, three-state champion. Assistant coach in 2010, New Lothrop High School, state semifinalist. Assistant coach from 2014 to the president of Lowell High School. 3 state champions 2014, 15, and 16. Named the regional assistant coach of the year in 2015. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Bishop. Next up is Ken Fowler, 1963 Bachelor of Arts from the University of Michigan, 1968 Master of Arts from the University of Michigan, 14 years at Flint Grove High School, teaching mathematics, social studies, and coaching from 1963 to 1976. 12 years coaching football, 1 year with JV, 11 varsity. Varsity offensive line and defensive end coach. 11 years coaching JV baseball. 23 years at John Glenn High School, teaching mathematics, social studies, and coaching from 1976 to 1999. 23 years varsity football coach, offensive line and defensive end. 7 years JV baseball coach, 6 years assistant swimming coach, 1 year freshman basketball coach. 1988 received the assistant football coach of the year award from Michigan High School Football Coaches Association. In 1990, inducted into the Hall of Fame of the Michigan High School Football Coaches Association. Ken Fowler. Class of 1970. A member of John Glenn High School 1978 Class B State Champion Boys Track Team. Inducted into the Big County Sports Hall of Fame as a member of that Class B State Champion Boys Track Team. Letters in 4 sports at John Glenn High School: football, tennis, boys track, and boys swimming. Volunteer assistant coach for John Glenn High School: girls track, boys basketball, football, competitive, sideline cheering. Volunteer football judge for both boys and girls track team out of John Glenn James D. Oil Track. Took 8 years on the Major Township Board of Education, including being an athletic committee member. Volunteer coaching 5 years with the John Glenn Booster Club, serving on Booster Club Board of Directors as Vice President or President the majority of those 25 years. Assisted in the construction of the storage barn at the Albert E. Johnson Stadium. Assisted in all areas of construction with the Bobcats concession, restroom facilities, and ticket booths at Albert E. Johnson Stadium. Terry O'Hara. Class of 1990. The high school 84-year John Glenn Varsity letter winner. All-conference team 1988, 1989, 1990. Twice-time conference champion 100 steadily and 200 medley, 1998 and 1990. That's needed. 1990 MHSAA Class B state champion. 200 meters. 1990 FHSAA Class B State second place with 100 meters. 1989 FHSAA Class A seventh in the state with a 200 meters. Current John Glenn record holder in the 100 and the 200 meters. 1990 USA All USA Track and Regional Field record merchandise for the state of Michigan. College University of Michigan. The University of Michigan Scholarship Athlete and Letter Winner, 1990 to 1994. Member of the Big Ten Triple Crown Champion in 1993 outdoor, 1994 indoor, and 1994 outdoor. Bachelor of Arts in Sports Management and Communication. Postgraduate Doctorate, Indiana University. Poet, Saturday. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a final round of applause to the 2017-2018 Travel Unsport Athletic Hall of Fame inductee. Congratulations, one and all. On the high school marching band in the field, the Bobcats marching band was directed by Douglas Wall. Rushers are Will Denver, Elizabeth Fair, and Hannah Snell. Is playground. Publishers, is your band ready to perform? Tonight, the Bobcat Marching Band will like to present their show entitled Light of the Movie. The band will be starting off with music from the most picture avatar. Next, the band will be featuring music of James Bond for the movie Skyfall. Last, the band will be performing music from Pirates of the Caribbean. We hope you enjoy the show.
You don't think it'll happen to you, and you surely don't think it'll happen twice. I've lost 2 homes in my lifetime. First, it was a fire. My agent was right there and helped me rebuild. Then the tornado hit and destroyed everything again. Both times, my independent agent and auto owners took care of me like someone takes care of family.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there. Auto Owners Insurance.
Plum Harris Insurance Agency in Bay City is your local independent auto owners insurance agency. Stop by our office at 706 South Euclid or give us a call to see how we can help with your home, life, auto, and business insurance needs. Back at the half, Jeff Doan and Mike Guisdala along with you. And Mike, a first 6 minutes of this first quarter, total domination by John Glenn. The rest of the half played fairly evenly.
Well, you know, it was a tough start for the Arthur Hill Lumberjacks, Jeff. They never really got off the bus. They struggled. They've been in terrible field position, second and long, third and long, the whole first half. And John Glenn, the Bobcats, really took advantage of that.
John Glenn has been able to establish enough pressure with only 3 and 4 rushers. Occasionally they'll bring a fifth, which really allows them to play 6 back in coverage. But for Arthur Hill, Jackson has been a factor as a wide receiver.
Yeah, Andre Jackson is a tough player, Jeff. He's about 6'3", 6'4". He's very fast, very lean. He can get up. He's got great hands. And he got behind the defense one time, and when he does that, that's trouble for the Bobcats. But overall, putting pressure on the quarterback for the Lumberjacks, that has been the key, and not letting those running backs and that versatile quarterback get outside the defensive end and containing him.
We talk about great quarterbacks. We're talking about a couple of sophomores running the show, and I don't remember when the last time we watched Saginaw Valley League football with 2 sophomores at quarterback.
It's not very often that you see it, Jeff, but those kids have played extremely well. They've done a nice job. Joe Long, you can see why he got last week. He got Gold Helmet Player of the Year. Very disciplined, does a nice job, very patient, and just commands himself out there on the field. He's got great presence.
Christy DeShano doing a great job with a great 1-2 combo at running back. Wide receivers with some controlled routes. Joe Blong throwing the ball on time. Nothing there. He's smart enough to just tuck it and go, and he made some nice plays with his feet as well.
And let's not forget that offensive line. They've done a great job for the whole first half. Big holes, protecting the quarterback, and doing a nice job. I thought they did a fantastic job of holes at the point of attack also.
John Glenn gets their hands on the football to start the second half. It'll be interesting to see how they come out to start that second half, and that first series is going to go a long way towards how the rest of the second half goes.
They've had great success. I don't think you're going to see a lot of changes. They're going to run the ball. They're going to spread the ball around. They've done a nice job. I think it's been really, really a good game plan for the Bobcats and their coaching staff.
Well, it'll only be a minute away to find out how the second half starts. That concludes our Plum Harris Insurance halftime show. We'll be right back with the second half right after this on BCTV.
Oh, hey, you got one of those insurance apps too? You know how this thing works?
No, sorry. Ben, please.
Wow, you can talk to your app? That's pretty cool.
Not an app, it's my agent.
In this moment,
No, I'm fine, thanks.
it's good to know you have a trusted, independent auto owner's insurance agent who's there when you need them.
Great. Man, I gotta get one of those.
Auto Owners Insurance.
Plum Harris Insurance Agency in Bay City is your local independent auto owners insurance agency. Back here ready to start the second half on BCTV, a very spirited student section. They're having a lot of fun tonight, but they've got a lot to be excited about.
They do have a lot to be excited about, Jeff. Big league for their Bobcats, 28-6. Great halftime show by the John Glenn Marching Bobcats. Some Hall of Famers. We'll try to get their names, talk about them a little bit if we can. But it was a nice halftime show and a really good first half by the Bobcats on the football field.
I'm going to be very excited to see the opening statement that they make to start the second half, because I really think if they can come down the field and put a touchdown on right now, that will give them 35 points in the ball game. And I'll tell you, with only giving up 6 in the first half, that is a tall task for Arthur Hill to jump out of in the second half.
Yeah, it was a really, really nice first half by the Bobcats, Jeff. Wasn't perfect, but it was pretty close. They did a lot of good things, and here we go for the second half.
There is a short kick taken on the run, and it's fumbled. Very nice job of just trying to jump on the ball. It squirted away, but it is brought back in by Trace Box. And that's the danger you have when you're coming up for that ball and you're catching it below your waist. You really have to concentrate coming in. And a lot of times your knee hits it as it's low and you're driving forward. He was lucky to get his hands back on the ball.
Yeah, both teams are doing kind of that onside kick, trying to put it into an open space on the field. Bobcats 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
All right, Arthur Hill with a late substitution on the field. And the trips that are there. Number 4 with an absolute stuff. That is Foster slamming the DeShano down as there will be virtually no gain on the play. Second down and 10 yards to go. So the linebackers very, very active for Arthur Hill.
Yeah, Jeff, they are very good. Number 4 is a very good linebacker, Malik Foster. Number 1, Alan Lane is a really good linebacker for the Bobcats also.
Second down and just about 9 yards to go. Joe Blong cuts back across the grain, has a nice gain on the play. He picks up about 7 yards out to the 43-yard line.
Looked like that ball was a little bit loose on him. He has to worry about tucking that thing right up next to him. And look, they'll head right back to the line and see if they can go hurry up and catch this Arthur Hill defense a little out of sync.
Well, a typical what they've been doing all night long, Jeff. They have not really gone to a huddle offense. It's not really quick, but it's just they get right up to the line and look at their wrist armbands and go with the play from the sidelines.
And I'm going to tell you what.
Again.
Like they did early in the ball game, they go to a 3rd and short with a hard count. Defense listening to the count instead of watching the ball. And the the John Glenn Bobcats just pick up a free 5, move the sticks, and they'll have another 1st and 10.
Yeah, just a tough break for Arthur Hill. And you're right. It's just discipline, looking at the football, making sure you don't go off sides and don't go until that ball is snapped. Another tough break, but a good break for the Bobcats.
All right, as they're lined again, trips to the wide side. Back with time to throw the football. Joe Blong is going to go to the outside. He's going to pump fake, and I thought for sure he was going to run it, but he found an open receiver out on the outside, and that will be number 89, Rory O'Hare. And he picks up the first down. What great downfield vision and patience that time by Joe Blong.
Well, and he kept he's got good feet back there, Jeff. If you watch that young man's feet, he's always moving. He's always, he's not stuck in the mud. He's not in cement. So he's always got good feet, and he's got good vision. And when he throws it to somebody, he throws it to the place where he's going to catch it.
Well, and I'll tell you what, he could have pump faked and ran that ball, but he saw the receiver and says, I'll do it the easy way. Here is number 17, Noah DeShano, and he pounds forward for more. As I'll tell you what, that'll move the sticks again down to the 21-yard line. Another 1st and 10 for John Glenn. Bobcat offense looks like it's back in sync.
Yeah, this is kind of the way they started when they had the ball the first time they touched it in the first half, Jeff. It looks very familiar. 1st and 10 for the Bobcats at the Lumberjack 22-yard line. And again, a nice spread of wealth. Nice run, nice pass, and doing a lot of nice things. Good play calling by the coaching staff.
As they come up to the line of scrimmage once again, Noah DeShano is the single back. He's going to pull forward. He finds a little bit of daylight, and he finishes the run with a close to a 10-yard run. Hanging on for dear life is number 4, Foster, as he's trying to make that tackle, but a great hard-charging 9-yard gain in a 2nd down and 1 as young Noah DeShano finished that run in style.
Well, nice job planting that left foot, Jeff, cutting back against the grain with the downfield blockers right there. Did a nice job. Great vision by that young man. He's had a whale of a game tonight.
He has had a tremendous game, and both running backs have been able to stay pretty fresh to get their carries. Little pitch to the outside. Nice job. DeShano's at the 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He's into the end zone. It is a John Glenn Bobcat touchdown. Boy, I'm going to tell you what, that was a great drive.
89, Rory O'Hare, great downfield blocking at the goal line. Didn't pancake him, just kept him busy, kept him in front. That's why we got that touchdown for the Bobcats.
Joe Blong with an excellent read option as well. Waited for the defensive end to commit.
Yep.
Pitched it out, got the great downfield block, walking into the end zone for the 6. Joe Blong to hold for the extra point. It's up, it's plenty long, and it's good. Time out of the field with 9:33 left in our 3rd quarter. 35-6. John Glenn on top over Arthur Hill. Back in a minute on BCTV.
Where did this rash come from? Hold on, let me see. Could be bed bugs. Oh. Mom, Grant says I have bed bugs.
Let's see what the doctor says.
Introducing Covenant Virtual Care. Real-time video doctor visits, e-prescriptions, and follow-up. Now extraordinary care comes to you.
See, it's just poison ivy. Smart pants.
Learn more at covenantvirtualcare.com.
Back here on BCTV, John Glenn to set to kick off. They just do another little line drive kick. Picked up. A couple of people missing to the outside. Ball is loose, and is it out of bounds? I think that John Glenn got it, but I believe they were out of bounds, and Arthur Hill's going to get their hands back on the football.
And number 6, Bart Brown for the Lumberjacks recovered that ball out of bounds, Jeff. Good job by Bart. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Lumberjack. Best starting field position tonight for the Lumberjacks at their own 46-yard line.
Now can they do it? Because I'm going to tell you what, if they're not capable of making something happen and John Glenn comes back down, we could be in a running clock situation here in this second half.
Want to say congratulations to Matt Bishop, Jeff, class of 1995. He went into the Hall of Fame tonight. This wrestler, state champion in 1995. So congratulations to Mr. Matt Bishop. What a great honor for that young man.
As up to the line of scrimmage comes the Arthur Hill Lumberjacks. Zamarian Foster has a couple of split backs behind him. I think they're missing somebody on the offensive line.
He's going to have to call a timeout.
Nope, they're going to rotate somebody over, move this one here, make sure they're both reset. Sophomore says, let's get the ball. Here comes the pressure, steps up in the pocket, he throws that thing into a healthy neighborhood of defenders, and the pass is incomplete. He's very fortunate that ball didn't get picked.
Well, number 84, Andre Jackson, he got the gator arms again, Jeff. He heard footsteps. He threw that into a crowd, did number 2, Zamarian Foster. And Jackson just said, no, there's no way I'm going after that. And then it's second down and 10 for the Lumberjacks.
He heard footsteps from multiple directions. Yes. He says, I'm allergic to dark blue, and I'm surrounded by it.
Well, Trace Box was back there. I think DeShano was back there. So very wise decision by Jackson just to let that ball go.
The sophomore Foster, really, that was one of the few ill-advised tosses that he's made in this ball game. Second down and 10. Split backs. There's another high ball pressure coming up. They're going to flush him out of the pocket, trying to run back across the grain. Nice open field tackle, though, by the linebacker. And that is, I'm waiting for him to turn around. That looks like number 54 on the play, Mason McLean, making that happen. And I'll tell you, if McLean doesn't get him, there's a whole lot of Foster green grass.
That was a good open field tackle by McLean right there, Jeff. Third down and about 7, right at the 50-yard line for the Lumberjacks. You know, this is a big play. A little bit early here in the third quarter, but I think this is a big play right here for the Lumberjacks. Now, it's going to be 4-down territory, but I think this is a big confidence builder here on third down.
I don't think that Arthur Hill can afford to punt the ball anymore in this game, period. They need every offensive possession they can get to score points because their defense is not real geared up to stopping it tonight. As Foster again, he's got split backs, twins to the wide side. Another high snap. Here comes the pressure right up the middle. And the ball is caught. And a nice run after the catch for the first down. And that is number 6 on the play, Bart Brown. As Bart made a nice yak after the catch there. He got yards after that catch and enough to move the sticks. And that, again, Mike, as you said, was a big play for this Arthur Hill offense.
I think that's a big confidence builder for these young men from Arthur Hill, Jeff. They needed something positive starting here in the second half, the first time they touched the football. So, I think they like what's going on. The coaches are calling a good game right now and positive mojo right now for the Lumberjacks.
Give the defensive line credit for John Glenn. They really collapsed the pocket and forced that play to come to the outside, but the sophomore Foster was able to make a play. And they move the sticks. It'll be 1st and 10 for Arthur Hill. The Lumberjacks have got split backs again. Foster calls for the ball. Pressure coming right up the middle. He's going to get rid of that ball to the outside and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. And that is number 3 on the play. And I'll tell you what, he is bumming that he didn't catch that ball and move upfield. I don't have a number 3.
Yeah, we don't have a number 3 on our roster here. We'll try to find it if we can. But again, good blocking by the offensive line of Arthur Hill, Jeff. But I like the way the defensive line for Glenn is playing. Lots of pressure. They're bringing 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 guys, making it tough on the Lumberjacks.
And that's what you need to do, is break that play down. But you got to keep Foster in and around the pocket. He has shown an elusiveness in the open field to make big plays. Second down and 10. They're going to come back with a little bit of more max protection on the running play to the outside. That is the
Wow, look at the hats there.
Linebacker, fullback, tailback extraordinaire. He makes it all happen, and that's Malik Foster. But I'm going to tell you what, the defense, as you just said, Mike, flowed very, very well to the football.
Really nice. A lot of hats around the football, Jeff. 3rd down and long. But again, I like the pursuit of the John Glenn Bobcats defense. That time they had 7 or 8 guys to the football, and that's what you want to do when you have a swarming defense and a good defense like the John Glenn Bobcats do.
They've done a really nice job tonight putting pressure on Foster and then recognizing run, because I think one of the other great athletes on this team is that number 4, Foster.
Yep.
Malik is a great talent. And certainly he wishes he had a little bit more talent around him, because they've got some pieces here.
They certainly do. And his brother's not too bad either.
Twins to the wide side. Here comes the pressure again as that ball is thrown to the outside, and the momentum carries him out of bounds. Again, we don't have a name for that young man. I was hoping that Mr. Schneider was going to be able to help us, but he's got the same roster that we do.
No, I don't think he has a number either.
So that is going to be 4th and 5. The momentum of that catch, the ball was really thrown lateral to the line of scrimmage, not allowing him to turn his shoulders up. He may have been able to get the first down.
Yeah, that ball was thrown a long ways too, Jeff. It was from the near hash mark almost to the other side of the football field. So Foster's got a nice arm, but another big play for the Lumberjacks and a big play for the Bobcat defense also.
As the 4th down play, it is no shock at all that they're going to go for it on 4th down again. Mike, we talked about the fact that they cannot afford to punt the rest of the game with 6:40 left in the game.
Number 3 for the Bobcats is Stevenson for Arthur Hill. So we got his name, and we'll done had a nice game.
Here comes pressure as they throw that ball deep. A little bit of incidental contact. Good no call. The ball goes over on downs. It'll be 1st and 10 for the John Glenn Bobcats. And this will be the interesting series of the ball game, Mike. If the John Glenn Bobcats can come down and put a touchdown and an extra point on the board, that will put us in a running clock situation.
Also, Jeff, want to say congratulations, Ken Fowler, going into the Hall of Fame tonight. Ken received the Assistant Football Coach of the Year award from the Michigan High School Coaches Association, and he was inducted into the Hall of Fame of the Michigan High School Football Coaches Association in 1990. So congratulations to Coach Ken Fowler. It's a good group going in tonight.
That's tough when you've got so many talented people. As the handoff going right up the middle and cutting to the outside. Look at the downfield blocking by the John Glenn Bobcats. It'll be out to about the 50-yard line. Christie, the ball carrier, really made it look good. But again, look at those wide receivers 10 and 15 yards downfield, Mike.
Not a pancake either, Jeff. They're keeping their man busy. John Foss, number 2, nice downfield block. Well coached. You coach that on a daily basis, Jeff. Those wide receivers, if they're not getting the pass, they're blocking downfield. Great job.
As again, the controlled break here. They don't go really fast tempo, but right up the middle, and that thing looked stuffed, but still able to squeeze out a couple of yards on the play is number 15, Gregory Christie. He's that young man. We love the way he finishes runs.
They got some nice running backs on this Bobcat team. You got Christie, you got O'Hare. They run with some authorities, and they don't usually run around you. They want to run through you.
Well, and you're not even seeing Valera out there tonight, who normally runs on both sides of the ball. So that's quite a 3-headed monster that they would have under normal circumstances at the running back.
That's a nice problem to have.
Oh, you can never have too many qualities. As it'll be 2nd down and 8. Handoff again, trying to get to the outside. The defensive pursuit from number 21 shut that play down, and that is Brooks. Shut Foster down. Also in on that play again is Malik Foster, who has been everywhere tonight.
He's played a very nice game, Jeff. 3rd down and 8 for the Bobcats, just inside Lumberjack territory. Key play right here for the Bobcats with 5:13 and counting to go. Quick 3rd quarter, Jeff.
Quarterback draw.
All right.
He's going to sit back and pass. He's going to get up the middle, and he's going to gain 9. As he's back to pass, he sees a receiver downfield. A perfectly thrown ball to the outside was complete for the 1st down. That's Woolshide.
Wow, what a great catch by Wolscheid, Jeff, going up and getting that ball. Joe Blanc put it in a perfect spot, and a wonderful catch by that young man, and a good first down for the Bobcats.
Move the sticks again down to the 25-yard line. Another 1st and 10 for the John Glenn Bobcats. And that sophomore just absolutely threw it. But Wolscheid with great concentration to look back for that ball, look it in, tuck it away, and secure it.
Well, Wolscheid's only a junior, Jeff. He's coming back. He's a class of 2019, so he'll be back for one more year.
That is a thing of beauty. 1st and 10 for the John Glenn Bobcats. Trips to the near side of the field. Joe Blanc taking his time, barking out the signals. At the snap, going right up the middle for a gain of about 8, 9, 10, 11 yards again. Absolutely Gregory Christie having his way with this Lumberjack defense right now. And the Lumberjack defense looking a little tired right now, Mike.
Yes, I was just thinking.
Oh, no, not tell me we're not on the same page.
The boys are getting a little tuckered out over there on the in the white uniforms. But, you know, it's just that pounding from that offensive line and those running backs running so hard tonight, Jeff. It's been a pleasure to watch this Bobcat squad.
And when you watch the offensive line, they're not doing anything special.
No.
They're just getting off the football.
No, they're doing a nice job.
They're just mano and making it happen in the trenches. Christie again banging forward. Looked like initial contact from Foster defensively again to stop that play, but not until there's a gain of about 3 yards on the play. And we know what happens if you do 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. You move the sticks and get another first down.
That's the old John Loop philosophy. If you get me 3 yards on the first 3 plays, I'm going to get you the 4th down, and we're going to go for it. That's John Loop, Ray Dombrowski, Jeff Beisel, the old school coaches.
Elmer Engel, who taught the whole group of them.
Good Lord.
So, boy, we could do an entire story on that, but it'll be 2nd down and about 7 yards to go. The Bobcats with 3:09 and counting left in the 3rd. Joe Blanc out of the shotgun. And the handoff is going off right tackle. A huge hole inside the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Into the end zone is Noah DeShano, and a penalty flag down on the play. And I think we might have an illegal block here on the offense, so we'll hold everything on the touchdown. Yep, and that was one of those point of attack. Now, what he's doing by taking the flag and throwing it, he wants the flag to end up at the spot that the foul occurred, so they have a point of reference.
Right.
So you'll see them pick up the flag 10 yards from where the flag was tossed is where John Glenn will get their hands back on the ball. They're going to replay the down, so it'll be essentially 2nd down and about 10 yards to go. Too bad, though, because DeShano really had a ton of room off the right side. The right side just caved in the left side of the defensive line for Arthur Hill on that last run play.
And again, the running backs for the Bobcats, Jeff, great vision. They run hard. And when they cut, they put that foot in the ground and make some good cuts against the grain and do a nice job.
As they're looking for a play right now, still have not gotten to the point where we're at the 10-second mark with the back judge as we'll wait for his arm to go up in the air. Hasn't gone up yet, so they've got plenty of time. Joe Blanc back to pass. He's running to the outside, and it'll end up being a broken play, and he's throwing this to the back of the end zone. What a great catch by number 89, Rory O'Hare. It's a John Glenn Bobcat touchdown. Making something happen out of nothing with his feet. He threw that ball, Mike, in the only spot on the field that only his receiver was going to catch that, or it was going to be an incomplete pass. The defender was not a factor in that play. Joe Blanc, wise beyond his years with that nice toss and open footwork to get himself in that spot.
And throwing it against his body, too. He's running to the left, Jeff, and he's a right-handed quarterback. That's hard to do.
The attempt for the extra point, he's been perfect all night long until now. The extra point is no good. Time out of the field with 2:49 left in our 3rd quarter of play. When we come back, we'll be in a running clock situation right here on BCTV.
You're up. There's an old saying, you can never have too many officials. The age of the average official is 52 and getting older all the time. We're constantly recruiting new people, younger people to join us. After you register with the MHSAA, look on the website to find an officials association near you. They'll put you in a position to succeed as an official. We all learned a lot from high school sports, and officiating is a great way to give back to the game. There's help wanted, just whistle.
Touchdown, Cowfield.
Back here on BCTV, Jeff Doan and Mike Wisdala along with you, Jared and Natalie Doan, cold but accurate up on the roof doing the filming, and Nick Page down here in the cozy confines doing the producing and directing. Masterful job by the entire family. We love them all and the job that they do. John Glenn set to kick off once again. That's Hotelling, and he's going to kick that ball down and deep, and it's going to land on about the 12-yard line. A little short hop pickup by the return man for Arthur Hill, who's looking for some space to the outside. Nice plant of the feet, gets up over the 35-yard line, and that is number 3 Stevenson with that return. And a clock running situation again, as unless Arthur Hill puts more points on the board, this is going to be a quick rest of the second half.
Also, congratulations to Terry O'Hare, Jeff, class of 1970, going into Glenn Hall of Fame, a member of the John Glenn High School 1968 Class B State Championship boys track team. So congratulations to Terry O'Hare from John Glenn.
Boy, and I'll tell you, rich history going back to the 60s here when John Glenn became a high school, I believe in the early part of the 60s. And they have been a factor.
1965 or 66, if I'm not mistaken.
I wasn't around then.
Yeah, you were. You were just a little tight. You were you were running around Mama's apron at that time.
I vaguely remember it, but it'll be 1st and 10. Trying to make a little run play happen. Nice off right tackle run for number 4, Malik Foster. Mike, we have talked a lot about him tonight. He is a beauty to watch. It's a shame he doesn't have a little more talent surrounding him.
Yeah, he is a good football player, Jeff. Runs hard. The big individual tackle on the play by number 55, Higgins, for the Bobcats. Nice gain on the play. Buck 19 and counting to go. 2nd down and 2 for the Lumberjack. Nice. That was probably their biggest play from scrimmage tonight on the run, Jeff.
And he finished that play off really well, too. He has been one kid that's got the constant motor going for this Arthur Hill team. John Glenn able to put an extra few bodies out onto the field right now and try and mix and match. You can never get backups too much experience in this situation. You never know when they're going to be called on to have to step up with that first unit.
Well, one of the things that they got going against them right now, Jeff, is Arthur Hill, is their numbers. They just don't have the numbers. They got about 25 and double what double less than what the Bobcats have.
Again, here comes the pressure from the backside. Could not see it coming. John Glenn did not wrap on the play. And it will be a 1st down run for the quarterback, Foster, as he will move the sticks down to the 48-yard line of the John Glenn Bobcats. As we're down to 22 ticks left in our 3rd quarter of play. It'll be 1st and 10. John Glenn defense has got to come up with a play now. As again, they've got newer bodies in there, but they've still got to come up with plays. They were in position, they just didn't wrap. I don't believe they're going to get the play off before the end of the 3rd. And they're going to prove me wrong again. Trying to run to the outside. Tried to plant that foot, and a couple of defenders missed. Looked like he blew a tire and was ready to fall down. I think John Glenn may have eased up once that happened, and that's the end of our 3rd quarter of play and our score. The John Glenn Bobcats 41, Arthur Hill 6. Back for the final 12 minutes after this on BCTV. AAA Transport and Limousine is the Great Lakes Bay region's most reliable and requested service. We provide many types of transportation services, from non-emergency medical, wheelchair accessible, school transport services, and shuttle services. Our company strives to provide exceptional service to our customers. Our services are tailored to each person or company's specific needs. For the last 10 years, we have pushed the mark higher and higher to give the best service possible. Rest assured that you are in safe hands when you ride with AAA Transport and Limousine. As we take a picture of the cheerleaders here and their very graceful dismount at the end of a great routine. As you want to talk about a strong squad. They certainly have got great numbers, and they've got a lot to cheer about tonight.
The Palm squad did a nice job at the beginning of the game, Jeff, just before the game started. Had a great time. Want to thank Matt Schmidt, superintendent here at Bangor Township Schools, the Troy Lynch, the athletic director, and as always, last but certainly not least, the Booster Club here at John Glenn.
And Mr. Decuff, ex-Handy grad, is at the helm here at John Glenn. Dan Decuff. So They've got it all covered here, and it's a pleasure to be at John Glenn. That's one of our favorite spots to go. As that handoff going on the play to number 1, who absolutely had nowhere to go, Alan Lane. He had a ton of company. He had number 55, Higgins, and number 57, Collier, hit him quick.
Yeah, 55, 56, and 57, Jeff. Zachary Zader in the game for the Bobcats. And again, you see them, they just come right to the football. They're swarming all over that ball carrier. They got 7, 8 blue helmets to the rock. It's impressive to watch.
It was a 50s party on the running back. 55, 56, 57. Do I hear 58?
Bingo. They got a 58 and a 59 too.
Indeed. Third down and a 2-yard-to-go situation. Arthur Hill here in the fourth quarter, trying to take that running clock off the board. Here's a little bubble pass to the outside. It was intended, but the clock's going to keep on rolling here with the incomplete pass, as that was intended to Jackson.
Last inductee tonight, let's congratulations to Colette Savage. Colette, class of 1990. In 1990, she was the Michigan High School Athletic Association Class B state champion in the 200 meters. So congratulations to all the inductees tonight. Matt Bishop, Ken Fowler, Terry O'Hare, and Colette Savage. Well done by the athletic department here at John Glenn, getting those folks into the Hall of Fame.
Yep, that is always a tough thing when you've got so many qualified people, but great honor for those people to be in front of this huge crowd on hand tonight.
Good crowd.
And it's fourth down, and they're going to obviously go for it. Foster's trying to figure out what's going on. He's trying to show the receivers what they're going to call, and they try a running play, trying to get to the outside. A hold at the point of attack will be caught by the referee. And they're going to bring this one back. Yep, when that's a hold that's that obvious and it's right at the point of attack, and that allows the running back to get the first down, you got to throw the hanky.
Yeah, there was no doubt about that. Everybody up here in the booth was giving the holding call, and that was an easy call for the referee. So they'll go back 10 yards from the spot of the foul, and that'll put them back about the 49-yard line.
Yep, they're going to go back to their own 49-yard line. And it will be fourth down now and 13 yards to go for the first down. So they've got their work cut out. And that ref's going to start the clock once again because it stops on the penalties. That's part of the tips.
Well, you see who's running the clock, though, don't you?
Oh, I'm going to tell
all
you.
Over
he's a KG veteran down there running the clock tonight, Jeff Hart.
Hey, he's just not another pretty face either.
We're going to have a timeout on the field as Arthur Hill looks like they're going to call a timeout on fourth down. We'll take a quick break and be back in a minute here on BCTV.
In 1916, Warren Miller chose Auto Owners Insurance for his new car. In 1947, his son made the same choice, as did his grandson in 1979. And today, his great-granddaughter did the same. As we reflect on where we've been, we're grateful to our independent agents and to those who put their trust in us, and to the generations who will. Auto Owners Insurance.
Plum Harris Insurance Agency in Bay City is your local independent auto owners insurance agency. Back here on BCTV, Jeff Doan and Mike Wisdala. Crowd's starting to thin out a little bit. I think that they might be fairly confident that the outcome is no longer in doubt.
Yeah, I think you're right, Jeff, but it was a fantastic crowd tonight. Week number 3 of Michigan high school football. We've had 3 tremendous football games that we've had so far here on the BCTV, and we got another one coming next week. We'll talk about that game in the post-game wrap-up, but we've got a great schedule, and we've got 9:52 here to go in the game. John Glenn Bobcats 41 and the Arthur Hill Lumberjacks 6.
Next week we got Western and Saginaw High, I believe. I don't have the schedule in front of me.
We do.
That is going to be an opportunity. We'll hope for the best for Jeff Rawl and the Western Warriors tonight.
Yep.
But next week as we go out there, got a good feeling that they're going to be able to pick up a W and right that ship out there.
Yeah, Saginaw High comes in, Jeff. The Bobcats have already had a look at the Saginaw High Trojans. They beat them last week 24-14 in game number 2. So Jeff Rawl not had an 0-2 start, but you know what? The kids play hard out there, and hopefully they can get a win against Saginaw High.
And when you look at this Arthur Hill team tonight, they've made a lot of mental mistakes in the game that have taken away some opportunities for big plays. Or they may be
in this ball game a little bit more.
Can't recover from stuff that's going on with them tonight,
Here
Jeff.
comes the pressure from the backside, throwing the ball at the last second before he was going down, as that pressure on the quarterback came, and it looks like it was Damian Davis with the pressure on the quarterback as he comes off of the field.
He's limping a little bit. Zamarian Foster got caught from behind, Jeff. I think he got his ankle rolled a little bit, and so he's coming off a little bit limping, a little bit gingerly, and it'll be turned over on downs. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Bobcats at the Lumberjack 49-yard line.
Was that DeShano that put the pressure on instead of 11? Yep.
Man, he came around that corner with some speed, didn't he?
And we've got a new quarterback in. Boy, it's somebody that's familiar with the backfield. Greg Christie is the backup quarterback, and he'll come in and get some snaps out of the shotgun here with a single back offense, as it looks like number 21, Box, is the running back. Box tries to run forward. Look at the young man. He puts the shoulder down. He gets 3 out of nothing, as Payne is the runner on the play, and that is a 28. Looked like 20, but Payne gets that nice run. And, boy, I like the way he finished that. He moved 2 defenders back.
Yeah, John did a nice job. First time he's carried the ball tonight. The junior, class of 2019. I like the way the Bobcats do their roster. They give you the year they're going to graduate. So you got to be quick on your feet, and you got to try to figure that one out.
Wow, that's too much work. Those 8s and the 0s are really tough for us to sometimes see, as the ball carrier number 28, John Payne, the ball carrier again. And when we get the close-up here, and that's why we love that monitor to our left with Jared and Natalie Doan doing their job up there. They help us middle-aged peeps with what's going on right down close on the pile.
Well, one of these days I'm going to get the old binoculars. I lost them in our radio days, but I got to get another pair.
We'll see if it's in the budget. 3rd down and 4. As a straight handoff up the middle, and again, arm tackling by the Arthur Hill Lumberjacks, and that was Perche, number 17, with the initial hit, but very close to the first down mark. They're going to say it's just about the length of a football shy of the first down, and no doubt that the John Glenn Bobcats are going to go for it. Greg Christie is the quarterback. Payne is the running back. Looking to inflict a little pain on the defense. Pretty certain he's going to get his hands on the football here on this 4th down run. Great determined run. He was hit at the 40-yard line, and Mike finishes another run by moving the sticks, and another 1st and 10 for the John Glenn Bobcats.
Yeah, that young man is a good-looking football player. Number 28, John Payne, coming in, doing a nice job. Christie doing a nice job from his quarterback position. Nice to be able to say, well, you know, Joe, take a little time out, and we're going to put Christie in to play backup quarterback, and then bring in number 28, John Payne, to do the running. That's a nice problem to have, Jeff.
Boy, I'll tell you, Payne has really done well here. Got another running back in as Payne comes to the sidelines, and that young man is going to get his hands on the ball. Looks like it was Wyatt Walker, number 36, the ball carrier on the play.
Yep.
He got back to the line of scrimmage. At this point, the defense is really pinching hard on the run because they're pretty certain that the John Glenn Bobcats are not going to go skyward with the football.
No, they just want to run the clock, Jeff, run the football, keep that clock moving, even though, you know, it's still it's over 35 points, exactly at 35 points. So 41-6, 6:08 to go in the ball game. Bobcats with the big lead.
Boy, coming up on a 2.5-hour game here on BCTV. As John Glenn just trying to work the end of the clock out. Christie's going to throw that ball downfield just over the intended receiver's head of Damon Davis. The beauty of that is you can throw that pass knowing the clock doesn't stop in a running clock situation. As they'll come back to the line of scrimmage and run a 3rd down and 11-yard to go play. As number 36, again, Wyatt Walker continues to be that single back now as Christie is waiting for instruction from the sidelines.
Christie's got a nice little arm on him too, Jeff. He threw that a long way. Nice tight spiral. Just a little bit long. Does not stop the clock on the incomplete pass. 5:20 to go here in the ball game.
Now, Christie's a sophomore, so he's another one of those talented young men. As another great run by Wyatt Walker as he continues to push forward. And on the Brooks on the tackle for Saginaw Arthur Hill,
So it'll bring up a 4th down and 8 yard to go situation. So the defense for the last 3 plays for Arthur Hill is stiffened up.
Yeah, they've done a nice job, Jeff. We're still counting down 4:50 to go in the ball game. Christie, the quarterback. Number 36, the tailback, Wyatt Walker.
What'll they do here on 4th down with trips to the wide side? Are they going to do anything special? Nope, they're going to run, and great pursuit to the football was number 63, and that's Javon Jackson, as he is part of the Jackson, and Jackson law firm for Arthur Hill, and we've got an Arthur Hill lumberjack down on the play, and he is going to be able to get up. We're very happy to see that happen, and he looks to be okay, and boy, that is their big number 4, Malik Foster, and he's got to be a little tired right now because he's played a whale of a ball game.
Yeah, he's had a good game. They got some nice talent on this Arthur Hill football team. It's just, it's spotty. It's just not across the board. But boy, oh boy, I'll tell you what, they're fun to watch. And they throw it around, and they got some speed too. So when they put it together, they're going to be tough to beat.
As the clock continues to run inside 4 minutes and counting in the running clock situation, Jeff Doden and Mike Wasdala. Glad to have you along here on BCTV. Jared and Natalie Doan up on the camera. And producer and director extraordinaire Nick Page down here running the show, trying to keep us in line in itself is full-time work.
He does a good job at it, too.
Oh, nobody better. We wouldn't trade him for anything.
No. Maybe a cash option later.
Well, big cash. Going to take a lot of cash. He's just not easily replaced. It'll be 1st down and 10 as they finally bring their formation tight for Arthur Hill, and it's going to be an easy handoff to Jackson. He's going to pick up about 5 or 6 yards on the play before the defense swarms over to the football again. Look at the hats around the football for the John Glenn Bobcats. There's 5 or 6 of them there on every tackle, and that gang tackling is priceless.
Looks like number 46, Jeff, in on the tackle. Nathan Jacobs for the Bobcats did a nice job. 2nd down and 5 for the Lumberjacks at their own, well, we'll call it the 43-yard line. We got 2:40 and counting to go in the football game.
As the Lumberjacks, again, don't look like they're in any hurry to make anything happen right now. They just want to get out of this game healthy.
Yep, you're right.
They'll line up. They'll be set up under center for high backfield formation, one of the few times tonight we've seen that. Handoff right up the middle. Didn't fool anybody. Look again. 7, 8 hats to the football for the John Glenn Bobcats.
In on the tackle, number 66, Davis Foskett in on the tackle. What a nice job. Some of the players getting some time tonight, Jeff. Wholesale substitution for the Bobcats.
As they have had quite a ball game tonight, and they have really played well on both sides of the football. But this is the time of the game, Mike, that you really like to see the kids that work hard in practice, that aren't your starters, that get some meaningful minutes.
Yep, and they are getting some meaningful minutes right now, Jeff, with 1:30 to go in the ball game. They're up, are the Bobcats, 41-6.
3rd down and a bunch, about 6. Trying to come to the outside with speed to the corner. And a little offensive hold going on by the wide receiver who just won't let go when he's even done with the play. But there is Mr. Everything, number 4 again, as he has had another great run.
Yep, Malik Foster, good-looking football player, Jeff. And we're just going to be under a minute here. And again, an outstanding effort by the John Glenn Bobcats tonight.
You could just look at Arthur Hill right now, and their sheer lack of numbers. They're exhausted right now. They just can't wait for this game to be done. Foster still made a nice run there, and he's all about the effort and energy, but they are just plumb tuckered out.
Yeah, the numbers have caught up with them, Jeff, and they're at about 25. So, but again, take your hat off to the John Glenn Bobcats. They played a complete football game tonight.
There's Foster. He gets spun around, and look at again, just a lot of people to the football for John Glenn, as we have got the big fella in on a tackle right now, the number 79, Raymond Fry, as he makes the initial hit defensively. And now we're down to 10 seconds left. I think Arthur Hill is rushing out like they're going to try and get one more play off.
before the end of this football game. They are finally set, and there's a high snap, and they're just looking back, and he's like, it doesn't matter. The game is done. It will be a recovery for John Glenn, but that's all there is.
There isn't anymore.
The final score in the ball game, the John Glenn Bobcats 41 and the Arthur Hill Lumberjacks 6. We'll be back in just a minute with our post-game show right here on BCTV.
It's another fall Friday night, and your kids should be
playing high school football. It's a fun game, and it's safer than ever.
It's safe because the rules, the coaching, and the equipment are better than ever before.
As a result, serious injuries are at an all-time low. Seriously.
And build
strong schools, lifetime memories, and tomorrow's community leaders.
And it's mother approved.
It's a great game, and we want to teach it to your kids.
Back for the post-game show here on BCTV. Jeff Doan and Mike Wisdala along with you. The start to the first quarter and the start to the second half really was the difference in this football game for John Glenn.
It really was, Jeff. They came out and started well both times, and it was an impressive showing tonight by the Bay City John Glenn Bobcats, 41-6 over Arthur Hill. Back-to-back wins against the Saginaw City Schools. Nice 2 wins in a row for the Bobcats.
Gives them a little momentum going into the second of 3-part series for the year as I spit it out. Knowing that you have won 2 Saginaw Valley League games in your first year means a lot.
It really does, Jeff. You know, this is their first year in the Valley. It was a good couple wins for them. They got a tough one next week on the road. They got to go to Midland Dow, which we all know going over to the Midland Municipal Field over there is a tough place to play. But, you know, they can win that game. And if you can go over to Dow and beat a Midland Dow team, that is an impressive thing to do because they always play good football at Midland Dow.
I take my hats off to Arthur Hill tonight. I saw some talent on the field. I saw some really good things, but really unforced errors on their part and untimely penalties took away some big plays and any momentum that they were trying to garnish.
Well, and every time they put something together, Jeff, like you said, they shoot themselves in the foot and they go back 5 or 10 yards or 15 yards, and it would be 3rd down and long, maybe 4 for the Bobcats, and they jump off sides to get the Bobcats first down. So some of it was easy for the Bobcats to get those first down, but I like that Arthur Hill team. They've got some talent. The quarterback is very good. Jackson, the wide receiver, is good. Foster, the quarterback, is brother, the running back. I think they got a good team. They got to play a complete game, and the details, the little things really did catch up with that football team tonight.
And when you've only got 25 players at the end of the game, they just flat out ran out of gas.
Yeah, they were tuckered out at the end of the game. You could see it in their way they were walking around in their body motion. But, you know, take your hats off to John Glenn. They played a really good football game. Offensively, they were solid. Special teams, they were solid. They made all their extra points, but maybe 1 or 2, I think it was, the last one. And the defense was solid. So it was a good all-around effort by the Bobcats. They'll look at the tape. They'll work on some things and get ready for Dow.
Love the way they won the war in the trenches tonight.
Take your hat off to the big fellas. The defensive line, the offensive line did a nice job. They got a good linebacking crew. The running backs are Glenn, the DeShano, and Job Wong, and all the backs, really. Everyone that carried the mail tonight for the Bobcats did an outstanding job running the football. And they're not going to go around you. They're going to go through you, and they're going to get that couple extra yards.
Well, I'll tell you, Coach Werner's got to be extremely pleased with the effort from his kids tonight.
Yep.
Was it a perfect game? No, but do you ever play a perfect game? You've got to be satisfied. There's always things to work on, but overall, this was a great big win for his program.
I think it was a wonderful win for the program. There's some things that they have to work on. They'll look at the video tonight. They'll break it down. The coaches will talk tomorrow. They'll come in with the kids on Sunday, watch the film, and they'll, say, here's some things that we got to do. But overall, I think that staff and the fans here at John Glenn are going to be pleasantly surprised in what they saw tonight and what they got to look forward to.
And with the ensuing Hall of Fame inductees tonight, and a jam-packed side. This has got great support for John Glenn and rich tradition in football.
Yeah, it was a great crowd, Jeff. Week number 3, you bring in another Saginaw Valley team over. They all showed up. It was a great night for the Hall of Fame inductees. They had 4 of them going in. So overall, it was a very good night for everybody here affiliated with Bangor Township Schools as a whole.
Well, just one more thing before we leave. I'd like to make one last thank you, and that's to our friends at Shirts, Mugs, and More who helped make it happen. They give us all the apparel to look nice, so we want to give them a little shout-out and thank them for their efforts again. But, Mike, that about puts the wraps on another big victory tonight for John Glenn. Any final thoughts?
Well, and don't forget, next week we're going to go out to the cornfield out at Bay City Western, where we talked about it earlier. The Warriors are going to host the Saginaw High Trojans. Hopefully Jeff Rawl and the gang out there at Bay City Western can get a win over Saginaw. But another good football game next week, and we just got a few more things to go. It's a great fall schedule.
As somebody says, I'm loving it. Indeed.
We certainly are.
On behalf of the whole crew, I'm Jeff Doan, along with Mike Guazdala, Jared and Natalie Doan, another masterful job upstairs, all orchestrated by our maestro, as Mr. Nick Page makes it all happen. St. Nicholas, our producer and director. On behalf of the whole crew, have a great night, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week as Western and Saginaw High bang heads.
We'll see you at the cornfield.